Well, here we are. Go figure. I think I had broke the internet for a moment. I ran into a technical error that I hadn't run into before. I apologize greatly for not being here on time. I want to let you guys know that I do everything in my power to ensure that I am on time, and when I am not on time, it pains me greatly. I am a man of manners, and I hate being late to anything ever, even stuff that I set up myself. So our timer is a little bit off just to compensate a touch. I went ahead and started the pre-roll off air, so that way when we came on air, we weren't going to be waiting this entire time. So thank you to the little more than half a dozen of you that patiently waited on the black screen of doom. Okay, who's going to bed already? Who is this? Mindy. Oh my gosh. No cookies tonight for anyone. Have a good night, Mindy. Thank you so much for all your help and support this week as well. But yeah, no, I'm breaking things, and I figured out exactly what I did wrong, and I'm happy that I had the mental ingenuity to sort out what the problem was. Apparently, at some point, I had added an extra camera onto the stream, and it wasn't able to receive data from a second camera, so therefore it wasn't allowing me to preview the stream or push the stream live. So I'm fortunate that I was able to get that sorted out. So welcome to everyone who is in here right now. Those of you who are here for the first time, I know we got a bunch of first timers tuning in right now. This is just our pre-show right now. This is an opportunity for content creators to interact with each other, talk with each other, post up links, social media, anything you want to get out there, you can get out there right now, as long as it's somewhat on topic. Okay, if you're going to be promoting, trying reseller, web marketing, something in that arena, we'll be happy to see it. But yeah, feel free to put that up there. Just keep it appropriate. Okay, but welcome to all the new people that we have here. Our main show will be starting a little behind schedule. We're going to be 9 minutes out, so 3 or 4 minutes past top of the hour, and we have an interesting show tonight too, but I don't want to get too far into it because it's pre-show time. So how is everyone tonight? I said we got Joe in the house, we got Donatella Bodolino. That's a really cool name, by the way. Chris the Goose, the one and only. Much props out to you. Thank you so much for being in the audience. Chris, if those of you who don't know, Chris the Goose is, I think, one of our top supporters of the show as far as super chats are concerned, and he's a really cool guy, a real standout guy. I've had the fortune of speaking with him a few times as well. We got KLC Reselling in the house. KLC is on track to get to 500 subs. I think I checked her out today right around 460-ish, so make sure you guys pop on and check out her channel. She does a lot of posh type tutorials, I believe, clothing tutorials and stuff to that effect. We got Pat the Reseller, present and accounted for before I was, first time I think ever. Kiki Mom, one of our newest patrons, thank you so much. And I want to let you guys know it is so incredibly difficult to keep track of people who have a different name on Patreon and then a separate name within YouTube. And right now I can kind of handle it because it's only about 30 or 40 of you, but when we get up into the 50s, 60s, and 70s, that is going out the window. So if you want, within group chat, which is a feature for our patrons, within group chat, you are able to set a nickname for yourself. And if you want me to call you out on air, because I know you from the group, change your group name to your YouTube handle, and then I'll be able to keep the two sorted out. And I'll be able to more easily remember who I'm talking to. And you can do that within individual chats between me and you as well. Lee James said he needs a few extra minutes to sort things out. Yep, same here. We got Big Bison in the house. We got Miss Busy in the house. I believe Miss Busy has her new name as well. We can't remember the old one, can we? Future Fortunes in the house. It was good talking with you last week. I believe me and you talked off air after last week's show about a handful of things. Kim Gillette, good to see you again. As always, Aaron Kluge. Man, what were we talking about today? We bumped paths on a post at some point today. I can't remember exactly which one it was. Joe 30725. Me and him went head to head yesterday, yard sailing. He kicked my butt. He is really good at what he does. I won't deny that for 2 seconds. Who else we got here? Key Web Co, aka Roger K. Thank you for being here as well. Make sure you check out Roger Keyserling's Key Web Co. Early super chat. Dan the CNC Toolman dropping in a $10 bill. Solidly appreciate that. Says, enjoyed the swap meet video today. Those of you who missed it, we had a swap meet video on page 2. It was just kind of an impromptu live stream I felt like doing so I could show what I was doing. And I was thinking about even holding back on those items, but just because of that, I'm going to show my swap meet items. And I got, man, guys, this week's pickups. I didn't want to hype it up too much because I wasn't sure how much time we were going to have. I got some insane pickups this week, like stupid stuff, brands I've never even come across before that I knew were Bolo brands, first time ever. Thank you so much for that, Dan. That's going to show up on our grand total window on the next one. Your name's going to be at the bottom of the screen as well. Thank you as always for that. And Dan, you're another one of those people. I don't know what your name is within Patreon, so I have a hard time connecting the dots, who you are there and who you are here. So if you don't mind telling me, I'd like to thank you appropriately. And then we got Pam Flip Life for those of you on Pinterest about to hit 1 million monthly views. Guys, go follow Pam's Pinterest. She actually puts up some really cool stuff. She'll send me pins from time to time, and they're always interesting. So definitely check her out. And thank you to the guys who are going and subbing to KLC. That's so nice of you. She does put in effort. Dan Warner. I got to put a name to the face. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. This is my jam right here. Let me know if it's too loud, guys. Danielle Warner. You know what it is? I've never associated you with a face yet because your image is, I believe it's your children. So thank you, Dan. I appreciate that greatly. I will lock that face in. See, you got a little beach action going on. I'm not sure where you're at. Are you close to the coast? Are you close to the CA coast, possibly? Matthew Eason in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Long time no talk. I think you got some DMs from me waiting for you right now. Donna Cherry, pleasure as always. Thanks for dropping in. Dan says, yes, it is. Good stuff. That's another thing we might talk about here on the show. Kids, having kids, my thoughts on kids. Gosh, if you guys didn't see the Reseller Rewind with Corey this week, it was on my channel instead of his channel. Obviously, go check him out. Go subscribe to Empower Reselling channel. But we talked about a lot of stuff about relationships, and I feel I've become a little more insightful as of late. 3 hours from North Carolina coast. It's not bad. I used to work with some people out in North Carolina. Really, really nice people out that way. You know, obviously, you get the right crowd, but really, really nice people out there. I hope you guys are ready for a good show. I'm not ready. I really wish I was. It never ceases to amaze me who will contact me on a Sunday and want to do business and make things happen. And I won't ever say no. And this is what I told Pam, because Pam asked me if I was running behind. And I told her I'm just always am. There's nothing I can do to avoid it. I got two negative feedbacks on my account that I saw this today. I don't know when one came yesterday, one came a week ago. So I found myself on the phone for 51 minutes dealing with that. Then I was helping someone with a graphics project who hopefully they're watching this evening, because we're going to be talking about some Amazon stuff to help them out. Tonight's show is really going to be like a good sample episode for people who are here for the first time to get an idea of what we do. Because we're going to be doing some practical lessons, we're going to be doing some news, we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. Aaron says gas. QWebco, I'm getting so burned out on calling eBay, I don't even do it hardly ever anymore. You know what I do? Same thing with eBay and Amazon. I wait until I have about 3 or 4 things to call on, and then I'll just do one call, and I'll usually, it sounds horrible, I'll put a movie on in the background, and And if there's a really good part, I'll even ask them to hold, because they'll make me hold. So I'll put them on hold for like a minute or two, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm back, and then just start talking with them some more. Oh yeah, but on the phone, 51 minutes to get 2 negative feedbacks removed, and guess what? Neither one of them got removed. So I'm gonna have to play operator roulette and try another one tomorrow. I didn't have any more time for it today. There was a glitch with eBay's API which caused me to sell an item twice. And eBay is refusing to remove the negative feedback, even though it's not my fault, it's the API's fault. So I have to have the technical log from the other company get sent over to eBay. I'm missing eye drops. Those of you who don't know, your eyes get extremely dry when you have this many LEDs in front of you, or screens. I got 2 screens and then 2 sets of lights with 5 bulbs each in them. Guys, I think it's that time. I think we're ready to get going. Let's go ahead and rock and roll this bad boy. What is going on, guys? This is Jay Kraft with the Facebook group Bolo Rama Pickers Lounge, coming at you live from beautiful Bakersfield, California. Today is Sunday. What month are we in? Where are we at? June 2nd, 2019, and welcome back. We're going to do another one of these reseller roundups and have a good time. Guys, we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be doing some practical Amazon training. If you're an eBay seller or a local seller or somebody who's maybe looking to scale up and add a little more diversification to your portfolio, tonight we're going to be talking about practical things that you can do to prepare yourself for the transition to selling on Amazon, as well as some of the things that not everyone's really talking about that's really going to help benefit your business. And even if you are an introductory Amazon seller or even a very, very seasoned Amazon seller, we're going to be talking about some changes that are affecting the platform right now that you are going to need to know to safeguard your account to ensure that you don't get suspended. We even saw some sellers who signed up for an account on Saturday suspended as of Monday. A little bit crazy, some of the stuff that's going on right now. On top of that, we're going to be talking about eBay's political affiliations. And I know it seems like an odd topic to talk about, but we have some empirical data to back that up. And I feel it's important for companies like that to have a little bit of transparency, but we're not going to give you any type of bias here today. We're just going to give you the straight news regarding that. On top of that, we're going to be taking a look at premiere video that I created on the topic of dim ship. And within 9 minutes, I guarantee you're going to know everything that you need to know about the changes that are coming to USPS as of the 23rd of, is it this month? I believe it's this month, maybe even next, one or the other. And then lastly, guys, I picked up a ton of items this week. I'm getting a comment. Someone's saying my voice is off. What is the issue with my voice? If there is an audio issue, just let me know, and I will do everything in my power to sort that out. All of my stuff should be hooked up nicely, though. We're running ultra low latency, so I will see your comments right away. I know our chat is off a little bit right now. Sometimes we have issues with that, and frankly, I don't know what it. There we go. I think I got it fixed. Aaron Kluge coming in clutch with the $2 super chat. I appreciate that greatly. He said, "Let's go," and attached a rocket with it. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Thank you so much for that, Aaron. And then also I want to double down on that thank you from Dan, the CNC man, who donated a $10 before the show even started. So thank you so much, guys. We are rocking and rolling towards our goal of 3K, which I know seems a little bit absurd. And if you're first time here, I get it. It seems a little bit high, but we'll explain a little bit later. I don't want to go too long without actually getting you guys some information that you need today. We're going to be taking a look at all of your comments throughout the show. Those of you who are watching this later on the pre-record, keep in mind, this show is live every Sunday, except for December, at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast, streaming at you from Bakersfield, California. So if you have any questions, coming into our show live is the best time to do it, and you get to interact with our live audience as well, who just for some reason cannot stop with the $2 super chats tonight. I know what you're doing. You guys are trying to distract me, but you know what? I'm going to let it happen. I got a double thank you, one coming in for Robin and one coming in for Joe. Joe saying, let's hit that 1K mark. That'd be fantastic. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you to the both of you evenly. One thank you for each of you for helping support the show tonight. And we are going to do a wrap-up thank you here at the end, too. I want to make sure we cover some of our house cleaning as well. Thank you to our admins tonight. Pam is the only one in. Mindy was in a little bit earlier, but thank you to the two of them for helping keep the show clean and tidy while we are on air, as well as helping out with some back-end stuff. We're going to mention Pam again here a little bit later because she found a critical flaw in one of my videos. On top of that, I want to give a special thank you to Lisa Higgs and Adam Thompson, our two newest patrons helping to support the show. Those of you who don't know about Patreon, we'll mention it here in a bit. We also want to give a special thank you to PayPal. Guys, we have a new affiliate link down there for you below. You get $20 just for signing up for a new PayPal MasterCard. Cost you absolutely nothing to sign up. They do charge $5 a month maintenance fee to keep your account going, but you get $20. The show gets $20 just for signing up for a new card. And when we talked about eBay managed payments, it's important to understand you can use that card for your managed payments because it has a routing and account number. You don't need to go open another bank account. You can use that card right down there for the small price of $5 a month. It's very convenient. I have one myself. I'm not just actually, I don't even carry it in my wallet. I have it off to the... I promise to show it to you on the next episode. I have a personal PayPal cash card that I pay $5 a month for. And because we are going to be talking about Amazon, this card can be used to secure an Amazon account. So some of you who are out there, we call them credit ghosts, who do not have bank accounts, who have said, I want to do Amazon, but I'm not going to get a bank account. I just don't want to do it. Guess what? You can use this card to secure an Amazon account. A lot of people don't know that. Don't go tell everyone. Seriously, don't tell everyone that you can do that because it might screw it up for me. This is just for you guys. Last week, guys, we talked about changes coming to USPS. Tonight's episode is going to cover all of that for you. We talked about Amazon opening up some retail locations, radical changes to eBay's payment system, as well as understanding the changes that are coming to 2021 for the managed payments. So if you missed last week's episode, I recommend you check it out. On top of that, I was on the Reseller Rewind show on my channel this week instead of Corey's channel. If you're looking for some background noise to watch for an extra 2 hours this week, go back and watch it. It's on my channel. Just click my channel name, click on videos, and you'll see it right there. It's the second one over from the top. Guys, every week I like to start out with a little bit of a story, and we might even have a special guest watching us tonight because I left him and his family with all of my information before I walked away from the yard sale this Saturday. It was absolutely fantastic. I walked up to this yard sale and I picked up some great items. And while I was there, I explained to them what I do. And I know there's been a lot of contention and a lot of confusion as far as, should I tell people, I'm not digging this cord here. The question, should I tell people whether or not I am a reseller? This is a question that I hear often. It's too far away now. I hear this question often. I tell people, yes, you should. But a lot of it boils down to how you want to work with the customer and what your expectations for working with the customer are and how you go about pitching it. When I tell people about me being a reseller, it comes from a point of fascination. I am selling who I am to the fullest. And you can really go into it one of two ways. You can say, yeah, I'm going to buy these things and hopefully make a couple of bucks off of them, turn a profit, even though, somehow you can't, but I'm going to do it. And you can go into it very tail between your legs. Or you can say, oh yeah, no, this is what I do for a living. I love doing it. It's the best thing ever. I try and find items that people may not love the same way that the other people I find to buy them will love them. I make sure that me, as a picker, as a sourcer, as an entrepreneur, finds amazing pieces and makes sure that potential buyers have an opportunity to get them and value them as much as you did when you got them the first time. It's all about that spin, because that's the honest to God truth. That's who we are. Our job is to go and buy items that people are either too lazy to get maximum value for or simply do not know what the maximum value for the item is. That's the honest to God truth. That's what we do for a living. Most of us. Now, obviously, there's some people out there who are drop shippers, RA, whatever you might do, and you're just here for the news, just here to learn about a few items, or you just like hearing me talk. But for the majority of us, we're everyday pickers, and this is what we do. So I go to this yard sale. I'm talking with this family. I'm looking at a couple of items, and I left an item behind. So if you're watching, let me know in the comments. I'm going to tell you what I left behind that's worth money. I did it on accident. Didn't think about it till later. I got a little wrapped up. Talking with the family, the parents, about what I do. And they said, oh, our son actually does that too. Really? And because if your son's doing it and I'm here buying things, there's something a little bit off. And I did buy a few things, and I'll show them here later today. And they're like, yeah, he sells on Amazon, but, he doesn't really make any money. Like, what? Yeah, it's just something he kind of does for fun. He's still kind of figuring it out, but he's not really making much. I'm like, oh, I'm like, I talk with him, this is what I do for a living full time. And she said, yeah, let me go get him. Let me go get him real quick. And out comes James. James is a 13-year-old young adult who is enamored with being a reseller. And it was a really, really great experience being able to talk with his parents and talk with him about what I do and to be able to help motivate the next generation of resellers. Because I was telling him and his family that in the same way that America is short on trade skill jobs, plumbers, welders, construction workers, and we're seeing this decline in trade skills as we're seeing an increase in college-based type employment, or people going after those types of employment, not necessarily getting it. Being an entrepreneur, that's a dying field, and especially being a reseller in the youth is becoming a dying field. Part of it has to do with the raw amount of things that you have to learn. It can be very, very intimidating. So I talked with him and I shared with him some of my stories. I brought him and the family over to my car and I showed him some of the items and I said, hey, I would love it if you tuned into the show. We're going to be doing some practical talks about Amazon, and if you guys want, you reach out to me. Let me know. I'll take you and the family. We'll go out to the swap meet one of these days and we'll do some in-person training. Now, I want to extend that out to anyone who lives by the Bakersfield area. If you're as far south as LA and as far north as Fresno and you'd like to meet me in Bakersfield, or even if you have a swap meet a little bit closer to you, let me know. I'd love to go sourcing with you, share with you what I know, and then hopefully be able to pick up a little bit of knowledge and exchange as well. It's this type of exchange of information that makes all of us a little bit smarter. But it gave me great joy being able to help pass a little bit of extra inspiration to the next generation of pickers. And I hope that he takes the advice that I gave and watches a little bit of this show, picks up some great information, and can propel his business to the next level by the time he gets to 18. So that was a fantastic experience. Let's take a look at some of these comments. Hello to you, Tracy Thrifts. Brandy, thank you for the positive vibes on the story time. And Lee says, I did when dealing with a guy that was downsizing his whole collection of Matchbox cars new in the package this weekend. And, it's so important that when you're working with people that you show a same level of appreciation and value for the items that they have as a reseller. And it's even better when you can do it with a vein of truth and you can say, I do buy these things, let's say figures, for instance. Okay. Some of these figures, when I go out and I buy them, they're going to go into the permanent collection. They're going to sit here on the shelf and they're going to look pretty. And then I even have some figures behind this computer, which are ones that I personally enjoy looking at while I'm working. And I can tell somebody confidently, some of this I'm going to keep, and then I'm going to sell some of this to help fund my collection. I bought some books today or the other day, and they were so cheap for me to buy nice hardcover books with jackets on them. I said I might end up keeping some of them. I might end up selling some of them. But if I do, it's going to allow me to cover the cost of the ones I get to keep. So you can buy as a reseller ethically and honestly. That integrity will take you very, very far when you're truthful and honest with people that you choose to do business with within your community. And you can leave a positive taste in that mouth of the person you're working with. What are they going to do when they run into somebody else who has those as well? Somebody else that has Matchbox cars, video games, collectible figures, trading cards, comics, you name it. And that other person might be looking to sell. What are they going to say? Well, hey, have you contacted Lee James? Have you heard of that guy? That guy buys those types of things. And you know what? He gave me a pretty fair price. And he paid me right away. And he paid me in cash. And he's somebody who collects them as well. And he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing with the product. And you can leave that good taste. It's going to spread around your community. Like I said, everyone in your area should know what you're buying. And if they don't, you kind of faltered somewhere. They should. Forgive me, guys. I'm just trying to get comfy right now. So, that's my story time for you. And we got more stories coming later in the day. Without further ado, though, we got a non-functioning slide. Where is my slideshow? Oh, my gosh. Are we having... oh, you know what? I got to switch over to that one. That's why. Here, let's... Fancy. I should get that set up on a delay or something, but that's going to take a moment to get figured out. Firstly, we want to thank all of our patrons for helping make this show possible, and we want to give an extra special thank you. You know what's sad? I can't even read this sign on my computer because it's so small. Extra special thank you to Pam, Matthew, Pamela, Ashley, Anna and Joe, Allie, Lee James, Brandy, and Rob. Thank you so much, guys, for helping give a little bit more extra support to the show. And an extended thank you, of course, to all of the patrons who help make this show possible. And a warm and thankful goodbye to Jean, who has just recently left. She's pursuing some new things, but we want to thank you as well for your extended support of our show, too. If you would like to help support the show and get some fantastic perks in return, please visit patreon.com/Bolo, and you can be one of our next patrons to help keep us on air and fund our goals moving forward. So, without further ado, guys, let's take a look at some news. I lied to you. I didn't put it in the card because I knew none of you were going to watch if I did. Guess what? We're talking about the 2019 annual shareholder meeting. How exciting, right? I'm sorry I have to do it to you guys, but there's always relevant information inside of these meetings, and I felt it would be a good idea if we briefly touch down on it. Those of you who don't know, I've been trying to reformat the show a little bit, spend the first hour of the show talking about news, and the second hour of the show talking about pickups, practical advice, yada, 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 news/training, just want to clarify. This month's shareholder meeting was led by Thomas Tierney. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brandy. Thomas Tierney is the chairman of the board of directors, which is going to be an important detail to understand later. And trust me, we're going to power through this because I understand it's not the best topic for everyone to want to hear. And those of you who don't understand what a board of directors is, I thought I would just go ahead and break that down really quick. It's titled as a group of individuals elected to represent shareholders. Okay, the shareholders of the company. A board's mandate is to establish policies for corporate management and oversight, making decisions on major company issues. Every public company must have a board of directors. Now, at this meeting in person, this was an in-person shareholder meeting, and representatives were able to go there to be able to pitch their case if they had specific things that they wanted to see pass or happen or change. And there was a handful of things that were voted on. In person, we had Devin Wenig, who is the CEO. We had Matt Murphy. We also have Scott Schenkel, who is the CFO, and we mentioned him on the last shareholder call. There was 5 votes that happened during this meeting. One, we had a vote for the election of the 15 directors to serve as the board of directors until 2020. Now, what happens during these meetings is that every single shareholder has an opportunity to vote in person, vote during the actual vote, or they can vote in advance. Now, each shareholder, they get 1 vote per share that they have. So you can understand how a company like Elliott Management, having 4.5% of the company, has a lot of voting power moving forward, and I believe they also got a seat on the board of directors because they own so much of the company. And it's not hard to get seats when you're part of the voting decision to decide who's on the board of directors. And again, to clarify, these are the people who are going to work to decide what's going to happen with the company, big picture stuff moving forward. They're also the ones who are in charge of making sure that the company stays the course and does the things that you want the company to do and doesn't deviate too far off. So this is an opportunity for shareholders, those who are financially invested into eBay, to be able to better direct what's happening with the company. Why? So the value of their shares will increase. Because if you have a company like Credit Suisse or Chase Bank or Elliott Management who has a financial interest in the company, you're going to want that company to do things that are going to help make the company worth more, because then guess what? Your company's worth more. Credit Suisse, Citibank, Chase, whoever has an invested share in there, it's going to be worth more. So it's an important thing for them to have these meetings because it gives people an opportunity to vote on the things that matter. Now, the telling thing is what they're voting on and then the actual percentages that come through. So when we look at the decision to vote in and keep the board of directors or alter the board of directors, we had a 96% of the votes were a yes, to keep things as they were or to make the adjustments that they necessarily wanted to make. But there was a lot of support from the shareholders. 96% worth of the shareholders agreed that that was fine. And we moved to the next one. There was an advisory vote to determine executive compensation. Executive compensation. So the board of directors is being directed by the shareholders to determine whether or not they feel any type of pay increases are warranted, is basically what they're saying. So if everyone, feels good about that, you're going to see people agreeing for it. Now, the thing is with shareholders is they're going to stifle wanting to pay more money to the executives because every dollar they give the executives is a dollar coming directly out of their pocket in the form of dividends. It also lessens the value of the company as a whole because that's money that's exiting the company. So the shareholders have an interest to not spend more money. Totally get that. But on the other side of the ball, a well-compensated executive is going to want to work harder. And if you show them value and say, hey, we feel you're worth a lot of money, we really don't want you going anywhere else, they're going to approve those types of votes through. Now, the last one passed with a 96%. Now, this one, a 90% approval. So we're not seeing people as on board. Now, the next two, not too important. Ratification of independent auditor, 97% approval. Consideration of management proposals to amend special meeting provisions, really not non-consequential for us, 99% approval. And then the last vote that they did, this is the interesting one. This is the whole reason why I wanted to talk about this topic, was consideration of a stockholder proposal requesting the board to have an independent board chairman. Now, we talked about it earlier. I said Thomas, what's his name? Thomas Tierney? We're going to say Turney. Tom Turney is the board chairman currently. And I did as much research as I could on this, and I don't understand how he's not an independent board chairman. He's not directly, in the type of position where you would see this type of vote happen. This type of vote typically happens when you have Devin Wenig, for instance, the CEO of the company, acting as chairman as well. Now, this is something that does happen. Those of you who don't know, okay, like I said, the board of directors is the people who change and direct where the business is moving forward. Devin Wenig is one of the seats, one of the 15 people on that board of directors already, but he's not the chairman on that panel. Now, if he was the chairman, I could understand this vote happening, but as not the chairman, I don't understand fully why they tried to take a stab at Thomas Turney. I guess that's the thing that happened. But the shareholders spoke, and they said 23% of them agreed with the vote. So 23% of the people do not feel confident with having Thomas Tierney as the board of directors chairman. It's an interesting thing to see, and I'm going to follow up on it more in the future to kind of get a better understanding of what's going to be happening with it moving forward. But it was worth noting, and taking a couple of minutes for you guys to understand what was going on with that. Now, moving forward, we listened. Oh, you know what? Let me explain one more thing before, because I took some extra notes here, guys. There's 3 reasons why this could happen. Okay, why the shareholders, and there was an Asian gentleman who spoke, and he spoke for 2 minutes, I believe, why he felt passionately that this needed to happen. Okay, he really wanted to see this happen. He was encouraging people to do the vote. There's 3 reasons why this can happen. The first one, there could be concerns about abuse in the position, abuse of power, and then drifting away from mandates. So things that the shareholders want to see happen actually not happening. So that could be a concern why they would want to reseat that position. They could also be upset regarding the amount of compensation that they are receiving because, like I said, some of them are executives. You literally have people, it's like when the Senate votes for a raise. You literally have people in the position of power voting to decide whether or not they get raises. And it's one of those things. Those votes are going to get pushed through. It's going to happen. And then the last one could be that the shareholders are losing faith in the direction that the company is going. Now, when we hear these things and we associate to the fact that 23% of people voted that way, it's a little concerning that the people who have so much money put inside that company are worried about those things. Now, that's such an odd amount. Thank you, Rusted Raccoon, for the $1.02. Oh, I get it. I get what you did there. Thank you for the $1.02 super chat. They ding these super chats individually. I truly appreciate that. I bet you that's a secret sign for me to move on to the next topic as well. Thank you so much for that. And that will post up to the top here in a second. I do appreciate every cent, buddy. Thank you again. So those are the reasons why. Now, what also happened is Devin Wenig went ahead and took the mic and said his 2 cents as well. And he said some very, very interesting things that kind of caught me off guard because this is a dang shareholder meeting. Okay, this isn't a sales presentation. We're not trying to get more people to invest into eBay. We're not trying to, it really felt like he was trying to convince everyone. He's like, hey guys, everything is fine. Don't believe what you hear. You fix this. Everything is fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to be okay. No worries. Okay. And the first thing he says, we empower people to create economic opportunity. And I'm like, man, that's awfully salesman-y of him to say. He also used some really salesman-y terms to describe eBay to, like, remember, he's speaking to shareholders, okay? The people who are invested into the company. He said that eBay is described as having the best choice, the most relevance, and it being the most powerful selling platform. Now, I want you to imagine for a second that I didn't tell you that we were talking about an eBay shareholder meeting. Just imagine that isn't there, okay? And I said, I want you to describe to me the site you go to if you want the best choice, okay? I want you to tell me the site you go to if you're looking for the most relevant search results. And I want you to tell me which site you think is the most powerful selling platform out there, okay? None of you are going to pick anything other than Amazon, okay? That's the reality of the situation. It's really not eBay, and he's really, really pitching it that way as well, though. Now, there was some things that he touched on, which, again, interesting. He said he wanted to improve the buyer experience, okay? I can't disagree with that. The buyer experience is really, really poor. I've had a host of bad buys as of recently. He says he wants to improve payments. Have you guys paid with PayPal recently and watched it go through 6 loading screens? I'm not even exaggerating. It's a full 6 loading screens that it cycles through. He says improve the seller experience as well as implement tools for sellers. Now, we already know because we scrub through the data for eBay Open that there's going to be a panel dedicated to the standalone seller app for eBay. I'm very, very excited about this because we can all agree that the biggest kink in our operation as an eBay seller is the listing process. It takes too long. Even with my iPad training video and me showing you how to list an item in under a minute, it's not a catch-all solution for everyone. It's not even like a foolproof solution, especially for people who are selling soft goods. There has to be a way to speed up this process. So that we know is going to happen. Now, the other thing that was real interesting is that he focused in on 2018 numbers. All of the numbers revolved around 2018. Why? Because the 2019 numbers are technically bad. Now remember, we said GMV as a whole went up. Okay, what are they up? 6% GMV internationally, including domestically. But the actual amount of volume on the site went down. Okay, so the amount of actual sales being sold through went down, but the profits for the company went up. And this had to do, again, with first-party advertising. And we talked about that. Let me see what my next slide is. I can't remember what slide I got here. So yeah, this is another one here. And there's a few other things that he said. And he talked about reducing delivery time and cost. And I want to talk about that, okay? Because why would eBay say that they're looking to reduce delivery time and cost? Now, there's 2 ways to interpret this type of statement. Now, one is the one that we talked about previously about how eBay may be working on a play to work with UPS to be able to offer a new shipping alternative, potentially shipping alternative to first class. Okay, that would be pretty damn powerful if that did happen. And the writing's on the wall for us to believe that that's going to happen, that there's going to be some type of opportunity. That would also lend credence to why eBay had been undercutting USPS pricing by 3% for the last 4.5, 5 months now without statement. So it's going to be interesting. But now here's the other side of it. The other side of it could be saying, well, who are they reducing cost for already? And how are they reducing shipping times for consumers already? They're not talking about us. They're not talking about America. They're talking about China. Now, remember, we talked about this in our eBay Revealed video. We talk about how eBay and Citibank created a company called SpeedPack to help reduce the ship time for international sellers to get their products here, as well as helping them onshore their products, get warehouses to be able to do direct distribution domestically. Okay, so they're not talking about Americans, in my opinion. They're talking about international sellers. Now, on the topic of first-party advertising, this is another thing. They said they used the same phrase again. They said you're giving up a bit of margin in exchange for a bit of velocity. Okay, basically meaning if you give us a little bit of money, it almost sounds like you're getting the shakedown. Does it feel that way when he says that? It's like, hey buddy, I understand. Sales are slow, but I'll tell you what, just, shoot me a couple of bucks. I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to some people. Maybe I can get you some more sales. How's that sound? That's what I feel like's happening, okay? Trade a little bit of margin for a little bit of velocity so you can have your promoting listing. And this is the thing that really gets me. He says, thank you, Anita Finita, saying, I love even numbers with the $13 super chat. If you guys haven't checked out Anita's channel yet, definitely do that. She does jewelry, what do you call them? She gets the big bundles and bales from Goodwill, and she'll tear them apart and like look for value and stuff like that. But she does cool videos. Definitely check her out as well. Thank you so much, Anita, for that super chat. I do appreciate it. That'll get us to an even $940. So yeah, here's the thing. Okay, they're lying again about seller satisfaction. They said, I don't even have it typed up here, but I can hear it in my head. Okay, they said that this is one of the best received programs with the highest level of consumer satisfaction that eBay has ever done. Okay, I have to know, as a consumer, how satisfied are you with promoted listings? Okay, I mean, can you really show me an applicable difference year over year before you had promoted, after you had promoted? Can you really show me a solid difference between the 2 years? But telling shareholders that we love promoted listings, and this is a great thing, and he says, I can't tell you how often I hear people tell me how much they love promoted listings. And I'm like, who are these people? Like, who are you talking to that are saying these things? Now, after this shareholder meeting ended, we saw stock prices go up 45 cents, give or take, that day, and then immediately go back down. It's important to understand that eBay as a whole is down since May. Okay, they're down, I think, 24% shareholder or share price, and the market, they're trending behind the market even by 16% right now. They're not doing well share-wise. Now, after Elliott Management stepped into the scene, things looked okay. They looked like they were doing better, but don't forget, it was within the last year that they were at $26 a share, and I was sitting there saying like, hey, if you got money to burn and you feel like investing, eBay is a solid buy. We were talking about this at $27, $28 a share, maybe not right when it was down to 26, but I said, hey, this is a good time to buy. And then they got all the way up to $40 a share, meaning anyone who was invested could probably made about a 40% profit all in all by investing into them. Right now, do not invest into eBay. It's not a good time to buy. If you have shares, oh boy, ride it out till December is my best suggestion for you. HODL, as they like to say. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward. Next up, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a deviation, and we're going to be taking a look at the dimensional shipping video that I produced. Actually, I have a slide for that, don't I? We are going to be taking a look at the dimensional shipping video that I produced. It's a 9-minute video that's going to explain to you everything that you need to know about dimensional shipping. This video is going to be available on my channel this Wednesday at noon? I don't know, sometime around then. And here's the crazy thing. That video already has 2 or 3 dislikes on it. Go figure. And I know why, too. It's because it showed up in search and people went there to try and watch it and it wasn't available yet. So even if you see it today and it shows up on your timeline on Wednesday, do me a solid, please. Click into that video, give it a like, okay? And no need for a pen and paper. This video is going to be online forever. So if you ever have questions about dimensional shipping, you can go back and watch it out. Watch it again. And I do want to say, I worked hard on this. I hand animated the entire thing myself. So please enjoy this video. Sorry guys, minor technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Let me figure out exactly where that video went on my computer. Now here's the thing. This time I know for a fact I have the video. It's just a matter of finding it real quick. So if you guys have any questions, right now would be a fantastic time to ask them while I dig this up really quick. We may need to stream it off of the site. Final miss. Which one? Oh, here it is. Here it is. I'm sorry, guys. I accidentally placed it in the garbage bin because I didn't think I was going to need it. Let's try this one more time. If it doesn't pop up right away, guys, I'm going to have to plug it in real Are you here to learn about dim ship or dimensional shipping, or maybe even what a divisor is? Well, no worries, I've got you covered. Hello again, my name is Jay Kraft here with the Facebook group Bolo Pickers Lounge, and I'm here to show you the way. Today we're going to be talking about the topic of dimensional shipping and pretty much covering everything that you're going to be needing to know regarding some of the recent USPS changes that are coming to you here this June. Now, if you're watching this video later, much later, you may want to check to see if there's a new one. But if you're watching it as of recent, or if you're just here to learn about what dimensional shipping is, this is going to cover everything that you're going to need to know. Dim ship, also known as dimensional shipping, is where we take a look at a package based on the size of the package and not so much the weight of the package. But the package's weight is also going to be important as well. We look at dim ship when we see examples of a box that is larger than 1 cubic foot. For this instance, for USPS. Now, different carriers are going to have different rules regarding their dim ship qualifications and the divisors that they use, but for today's example, we're going to be primarily looking at USPS. The reason why we're talking about this now is because new changes that are coming to USPS in June have changed the way that dimensional shipping works. Have you ever gone and put together a package and got ready to ship it out and punched in all the information that you needed to, and then realized the package was 2 to 3 times more expensive than you thought it was going to be? Generally speaking, this happens because of dimensional shipping. Now, the reason why you've seen that maybe over the last year is because of the distance that the package was going. We saw this with zones 5 through 9, which basically means about 1,500 miles or more away from where you live. These changes that have been affecting zones 5 through 9 are now going to be affecting zones 1 through 4. And if you're unfamiliar with zones and pricing and all those types of things, check out the links down below in the description. I've done a dedicated video on zones as well as cubic shipping, which is something we're going to talk about here in just a few as well. And before we get too much further, I do want to note that these changes are affecting Priority Mail Express, as well as Parcel Select. Let's go ahead and start out with a fairly straightforward example. We're going to be looking at a package that has a length, width, and height of 12 inches in all directions. Now, the box itself comes out to 1 cubic foot, or, for this example, 1,728 cubic inches. And I know this can seem a lot to take on board, but we're going to do our best to wade through this together. Now, we need to take that number and we need to divide it by USPS's set divisor number. Now, the divisor number is a number set by USPS to be able to determine the actual dimensional weight of a package. These numbers do change over time, and we saw USPS just recently having a divisor of 194, and now this change is bringing it down to 166. And for this example, we divide 1,728 by 166. This gives us 10.4. 10.4 is our dimensional weight, which is rounded off to, always against our favor, to 11. So this package now, that is 12 by 12 by 12, is a minimum of 11 pounds for you to ship anywhere in America now. And like I said before, previously it was zones 5 through 9. Now it's, if you're shipping it across the street or across the country, you're going to be looking at those dimensional weights affecting this package. But remember, it is only on packages that are larger than 1 cubic foot at this time, but it's important to understand these equations and how they work because they may affect more packages down the line as well. So if we look at this example and we say we have an 11-pound package now, if your box that's 12 by 12 by 12 only contains 3 pounds worth of goods, you will be charged as if though it was an 11-pound package. A little crazy, I know. And if your package is larger than that 11 pounds, let's say it's a 20-pound package, you will be charged for a 20-pound package. Let's go and take a look at one more package. For this example, we're going to be looking at one that's 12 by 15 by 10. Now on this example, what we're going to start out by is by dividing it with the old divisor. This package comes out to 1,800 cubic inches in total. And if we divide it by the old divisor of 194, it gives us a dimensional weight of 9.2 or 10 pounds rounded up. Now, if we look at the new divisor of 166 and we do the same math again, we get a dimensional weight of 10.8 or 11 pounds. So you can see how these small changes can create radical price increases, even though the numbers seem very, very small in scale. Now, if we run this same example again and we use UPS's or FedEx divisor of 139, we actually come out with 12.9 or 13 pounds. Very, very close to that 14-pound mark, as if it got to 13.1, it would simply roll up and over. So depending on where you go to ship your packages, you can have the exact same package, exact same weight, and you can get wildly different prices, not only because of what they charge there, but because of the type of divisor that they use as well. Lowering the divisor at USPS is a little bit sneaky. The fact that not everyone is speaking about what's going on with this, it truly is no different than if they were to increase the cost of stamps and not tell anyone, or reduce the size in flat rate packaging again. Now that you understand how to calculate and speak on the topic of dimensional shipping, I think it's important that we take a moment and talk about practical ways to actually reduce your shipping cost. One of the first ones, and you guys know exactly where I'm going to be going with this, is Pirate Ship. If you haven't signed up for Pirate Ship yet, I strongly recommend it. It does benefit our channel, and there's a link down below, but it allows you to use cubic shipping. On top of that, it allows you to get top-rated seller rates on all of your packages, even if you're not a top-rated seller. So we're talking discounts to priority and access to cubic shipping. And on top of that, you get $100 instead of the $50 priority insurance included on every single package. Best part too, guys, it's completely free, doesn't cost anything to use, doesn't cost anything to sign up. You only pay for your postage, and you also get some discounted international rates as well. That's the first place I would suggest to start to help reduce your cost. Another thing that you can do too is to reduce package waste. I can't tell you how often I get these oversized packages that have a foot or 2 foot worth of cubic space inside of them that's going completely unused. That is space you're going to be paying for. Learning how to effectively cut your boxes down will save you more money than you can realize. It easily saves me hundreds of dollars every single year. I don't have a tutorial out yet, but I can promise you one is in the works where we're going to be walking through the best way to cut down your boxes so you don't compromise structural integrity and you don't upset the customer in the process, and at the same time you still protect the item itself that you are shipping. One other thing you can do to reduce your cost as well is look into situations where shipping more than one box may actually be cheaper than shipping a single box. This is something that we used to see a lot more before, but with recent pricing changes it hasn't been too advantageous. But now that we're rolling out dim ship across all of America, there's going to be a lot of instances where shipping more than one box is going to save you money. Most times when you have multiple items, let's say toasters for instance, there's not going to be a great box or great orientation to be able to fit them. So by shipping multiple smaller boxes that don't qualify or don't reach the dimensional shipping cost, you can actually save quite a bit of money. On top of that, consider using a combination of boxes. Maybe you have a machine of some sort that has quite a bit of heavy nuts and bolts, and you place all of those inside of a flat rate box or a flat rate envelope, and then you have some lighter elements that maybe take up not too much space, and you ship those separately from the heavier components. Splitting up your order and using multiple boxes is a great way to reduce your cost. Just remember to let your customer know that more than one box is on the way. One more thing, guys, before you go, I do want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And if you did learn something, I ask that you click the like button and do me a favor. Share it around with somebody else or share it within a group where you see other people struggling with the topic of dimensional shipping. I can promise you it's something that's going to bounce up randomly as people haven't taken the time to learn this topic just yet. On top of that, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe as well and join us this Sunday and every Sunday when we do the Sunday Reseller Roundup, where you can come in and ask your questions and get live answers on air, as well as get some practical reseller news as well as some training. Thanks again for watching, and remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will.
Never heard of Patreon before? This training was made possible from support from our Patreon community. It gives viewers like yourself a chance to say thank you and help support the creation of high-quality content for working professionals in the e-commerce sector. Consider visiting the link down in the description to support us and get some fantastic perks in return. Thank you to all the patrons who helped make this video possible.
Well, that's our training video, guys. What'd you think? I went ahead and put in a little bit of extra effort as far as editing is concerned to try and make it a little more digestible. And just like that video said, guys, I'm going to have to ask, if you haven't done so yet, please slap the like button. I know 20 of you did already. That means a lot to me. And the thing is, guys, if you don't know this, being a subscriber does help us out. And if you haven't done so, click the subscribe button. We're giving away subscriptions for free now. We've always have, but if you click on that subscribe button, it does help our channel grow. It lets people know that you enjoy the content here, and it might make other people come enjoy it as well. And like I said, sharing that video around into other groups, specifically put them into groups, because you are going to see it like crazy come the 23rd. People are going to be coming to the forums. You know it already. They're going to be like, why is it so expensive? Why did eBay raise the price on packages? Why am I paying so much for shipping? And you can say, Jay explained it a couple of weeks ago. You weren't there. You should definitely go check him out. And you can be the smart one because you're going to have taken the time to take the free lessons that we're giving out now, wherein other people don't. And here's the thing too, you ever see entrepreneurs talk about being entrepreneurs, but they're not really successful? And then they see what you're doing and they see that, oh, this person takes 2 hours every Sunday and they invest into their business. Oh, and they also go out an extra 5 hours a week and they do sourcing. Oh, they also have a mentor that they can reach out to anytime they have a question. There's certain things we can do to help improve our level of success. And some of you guys are doing it. And I see it. I see it happening right in front of me and I absolutely love it. Thank you to the props that everyone was giving me. Anita, Kiki, I really appreciate that. Brandy says, I saw a flat rate video, how to open it up for larger items. Save me a few dollars in shipping already. Be mindful, okay? Don't punching that out. I know what you're talking about already. That does technically violate USPS's terms of service regarding what an envelope is. Because if you turn an envelope into a box and it has a third dimension, they're going to charge you, or they can charge you for a third dimension, and then you can get stuck with the priority pricing. Nobody wants that. Pam also put a link down there too if you want to be able to join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Bolorama, where you can come hang out with us. And I put up stupid posts and funny reseller memes, as well as some practical training. So you're going to want to be a part of that if you aren't yet. So here's the thing, guys. We're going to have a talk about Amazon, because a lot of people have been coming to me and saying, Jay, I get it. You know a lot about eBay. You've been talking to me about eBay. What do you know about Amazon? What can you teach me about Amazon? So today we're going to talk about some practical tips that you can do to help increase, or not help increase, to help get you over to Amazon. Now, if you're already an Amazon seller and you're sitting there saying, Jay, I have nothing that I can learn from you. I already sell on Amazon. I would feel a little bit surprised if I got through this entire talk and you didn't learn something new, because some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about is a little bit different. So the first tip that I have for everyone, and I'm going to take this off screen just because we really don't need it on screen right now. The first thing, guys, is that sourcing for Amazon should happen at the same time you source for eBay. Now, if you haven't done so yet, going and making an Amazon account is the first thing that you should do. You should sign up for an account, get your approval, get all your paperwork submitted if necessary. They're going to need ID. They're going to need proof that you are who you say you are. They're going to need a bank account. If you don't want to provide a bank account, create an account, one of these prepaid accounts with PayPal, provide them with the routing and account number from that account, and that, when I did it, should push you through as well. So if you don't want to go that direction, use a prepaid account with a routing and account number. It costs $5 a month to have it, which I consider a bargain opposed to some bank fees that I see sometimes. On top of that, guys, once you have that, download the Seller app. The Seller app is for your cell phone, and it's going to come with a barcode scanner. It also allows you to scan the front of items. Some people are so blown away when I show people this because they didn't even know that this was possible. And this is a great way to price items that you're even looking to sell on eBay that you can't find a comp. So all you have to do is open up your Amazon Seller app, and then there's a camera icon in the corner. And what happens is it populates all these little dots. I don't know if you can see the dots. They're scanning for an item right now, and I can put the front of an item up to the camera, and boom, look what happens. It pulls up and it tells me exactly what that item is from the front. Now, the first time I saw that, my mind completely exploded, okay? We're not just talking high-end electronics. We're talking grocery items. We're talking books, CDs, records, cassettes, anything, you name it. You scan the front, and you can get information on that item. Do you know how convenient that is sometimes when you can't find the item that you're looking for? So having that app is exceptionally powerful. What I do every time I find an item that's in a box, anytime I find an item that's brand new, anytime I find an item that is mixed media, okay, records, cassettes, CDs, non-DVDs, we'll talk about that here in a minute, I go ahead and scan it with the scanner, and I can very quickly make an assessment as to whether or not I should be buying that item. Now, we'll talk about rank here another day. For today, we're going to be getting over just the importance and the early steps of things that you should be doing to make it happen for yourself. Now, the process of becoming an Amazon seller is pretty straightforward after you've acquired a fair amount of items. Now, the sourcing should be done at the same time you do your eBay sourcing. So all of these items that you may have just originally said, oh, they're all going to eBay, you're going to come to learn that anything that can go to Amazon should go to Amazon. Okay? Why would, if we have two of the same item, why would we send it to Amazon over eBay? Why can't I just list it on eBay and sell it that way? Well, if you send it to Amazon, you're going to make more money. Okay, 99, God, probably even more than that, probably 199 times out of 200, you're going to make more money on Amazon for that exact same item than you will on eBay. Why? Because the habituated consumers on Amazon will spend more money. They also pay more money for the premium of having Prime. Prime users like buying Prime items because they get Prime value. How do you become a Prime seller? Well, you're sending your items into Amazon and asking them to handle the sales process for you. We call this fulfillment by Amazon. And instead of being the person that's in charge of boxing and shipping your items out to each and every customer, you box up a whole bunch of items, send them to the warehouse, and then the warehouse distributes the items for you as they sell, and then they pay you. It's like hiring an employee who can handle your pulling, your packing, your shipping, and your customer service. You have an employee when you have an Amazon account. Okay, they're handling the back end for you on all of your sales on that end. It's fantastic. Okay, it reduces the amount of inventory that I have to store here. It reduces the amount of back end workload that I have to do on items as well. I strongly suggest that you do fulfillment by Amazon for all of your orders. Like I said, one, you make more money, and two, it's like having an extra employee working for you as well. It's very, very nice. Now, if you're one of those people that's like, I'm diehard, I'm only going to sell on Amazon, okay, you're being stubborn. You're a stick in the darn mud, okay? Really open up your eyes to this and how important this is. eBay will not last forever. And I get asked this every time I do a story, and I talk about how I'm worried about the downturn of eBay. Without fail, I'll get half a dozen messages over the next 24 hours saying, should I be worried? Is now the time to worry? Like, can we start having discussion? Is now the time to start discussing the consideration that I might need to start worrying? See what I did there? And I get it. But diversification allows you to not worry as much. eBay could go up in flames, and guess what? I still have Amazon. Okay? And I still have local. If you're not moving some items local, you're missing out on more free money there as well. So I do everything FBA, and I just ship it all out, and I let everything go out that direction, okay? Now, I do suggest waiting until you have about 100 items that are suitable for Amazon. And you're going to see tonight, as we go through the items that I have, we're going to be doing that filtering process, and you can ask which one or which way these items should go. I just realized, guys, I forgot to answer a question that I said I was going to answer. Somebody had asked regarding the shipping situation, asking how it will affect eBay. You will have to punch in your length, width, and height on all packages going out, priority, parcel select, first class. You're going to have to put it in on all of them, okay, moving forward. Failure to do so will incur a cost if it gets scanned in and they realize that you didn't pay full shipping. And then you will pay the full price, not the top-rated seller or the commercial consumer pricing price, CPP price. You won't get that price. You will get retail price. Okay? You don't want that to happen. So follow the guidelines and do it correctly moving forward. I'm going to look at these comments. Jay, can I ask, is books a good inroad to Amazon? How long on average does it take to become ungated in other areas? Hello from across the pond. Hello from my side of the pond. Pleasure to see you again, Tat Doctor. And we actually have that question slated in. We had some people submit questions before the show, but I will answer that book one first as soon as we get to that portion as well. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I love it when you guys drop on in. Don't forget to click that like button as well. So I would suggest you wait until you have 100 items ready to go, so that way you can get a good amount of inventory in there and really start getting your feet wet and start generating revenue from Amazon, because there's nothing worse than sending in 30 items and getting a 15% sell-through rate and it not looking very viable. But if you can get 100 items in, okay, maybe not all at once, but you get 30 sent in one week, you wait a week, you send another 30 in again the next week, and then maybe 60 or so on the follow-up one. That's really going to help you see some velocity and start understanding how good Amazon can be for you. Now, there's two different types of accounts you can get. You can get a Seller Pro account or you can get a basic account. Now, I run on a basic account because my velocity isn't that great yet. Again, I did the transition. I've been downsizing my Amazon and I'm building it back up again. If you plan to sell less than 40 items a month, you're going to want the basic account where you pay $1 per item that sells. If you plan on selling a whole bunch of items, then you're going to want to have the Seller Pro account, which is $40 a month for unlimited amounts of sales. This does not include your back-end fees per sale, and it does not include any storage fees on your listings too. There are fees for having your items at the warehouse, so you want to be somewhat mindful of what you send in, somewhat mindful of how you go about pricing. It is important because those fees, like any other selling site, can eat you alive, but this time even more so because your inventory is sitting there, hopefully not for too long. So keep that in mind when you're working. And then another note, somebody had asked as well regarding, actually, I'll get to that here in a second. Let me cover a few more of the tips that I have really quick. And like I said with eBay, I find it very, very important that you secure a mentor before creating your Amazon account. Before you even go and register your Amazon account, have a mentor with you on the phone that can make sure you set up your account correctly. If you do not set it up correctly, your account can be denied. It's not like eBay where they open the doors and they don't need any of your information. And guess what? You're a seller who can sell $25,000 worth of stuff 30 days in on your account. Amazon doesn't operate that way. Okay, they want to know who you are. They're mindful about who comes through the front doors and who they allow to sell on the site. Have a mentor. I don't care if it's me. Okay. You can pick any mentor you want. I don't care if you pay him or you don't pay him, but talk with somebody who's more than just a seller. Okay? Talk with somebody who is a seasoned, experienced Amazon seller who can walk you through the process and make sure that you fully understand exactly what's going on during the sign-up process, because you can get it wrong and it can be a very costly mistake. A lot of people don't understand. You get one chance on Amazon. I really must stress this. You get one chance on Amazon. If you screw up that chance, okay, and you get what they call a permanent suspension, you are not allowed back on the site. And if you're thinking, I'm just going to be clever, okay, I'm just going to use a different bank account and register under, my wife's name, okay, guess what? If you log in to Amazon from that same IP address, those accounts are commingled. They'll shut down that next account. If you use the same bank account information, and they're able to register the social security number and be able to find it out that way, they'll shut down your account. Okay? This is not something, this is why I tell people, eBay is high school, Amazon is college. You do not go to college until you've graduated high school. You should fully understand pack and ship, customer service, speaking with representatives on the phone, validating the condition of an item. You should be able to look at an item and determine, okay, this item, guys, it's brand new, sealed in the package. Okay, what condition is this item in? Okay, now here's the thing: on eBay, this is a brand new item. Okay, this is not an Amazon brand new item. Okay, this is an Amazon-like new item because of the dents on the side of the packaging. I wouldn't send this in as brand new. And Amanda, if you lost your video, you're going to need to refresh. We are rocking and rolling and super sharp over here. Just go ahead and refresh that browser. And Big Bison, you are correct. If it has dents, it is not new. Now, is that to say that you can't get away with it? Sure, guys. I send in so much garbage as brand new, and I get away with it all the time. But for me, I'm willing to gamble a little bit more with my account because I'm a little more, good at the social engineering and dealing with issues if they arise. I can handle them pretty well. But I wouldn't recommend that for your first 30 items that you play around with package denting and stuff like that. It's not a smart play to make. Welcome back, Amanda. And, okay, where are we going? So now when you do make your account, I said the importance of having a mentor there. You don't realize the value in it because there's certain things that you should know. One of them is commingling. Now, if you're an Amazon seller and you don't have a clue what commingling is, then you're probably a little bit in the dark. But commingling is that if I have this Elgato Camlink 4K adapter, this stupid thing was $150. And it's simply a plug that's going to go between the camera and the computer. It's so dumb that I needed to buy this thing. The new camera should be in this week. We're going to be streaming in 1080p next week. heaven forbid we don't have any issues again. So, where was I going with this? So, commingling says that if I am going to send this item into Amazon and other people have this item at Amazon, we're just going to go ahead and put it on the same shelf with everyone else's. And then if somebody buys this item, we're just going to grab any one of them off the shelf, any one of those, and then we're going to send that out to the customer. Okay? How does that sound to you? Now, on a cursory glance, some people are like, okay, well, whatever, that's fine. That's okay. Yeah, sure. But here's the problem. Okay? Mine's real. Okay? What happens if somebody has a fake one and they get put on the same shelf and then the fake one gets sent to your customer? Okay? What happens if it's a textbook and it's a counterfeit textbook and it gets sent out to the customer? This is why we turn off commingling. Okay? Because we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we can lose our account over something else. And people don't talk about this. Why people don't talk about this blows my mind. If you're an Amazon seller and you've never heard of commingling, tell me in the comments right now. I'm really, really curious because it's one of the things that can destroy your account. Brandy says their shipping practices are not perfect, but when they ship items into them for the customers, it's so sad. Yes, we do have issues with how Amazon handles packages, and I'd like to think that they're aware of it, but it's definitely difficult to know for sure. But that's the good thing, I guess. If Amazon screws up, you can still get paid. And Amazon is very good about paying out when it's their fault. And I receive my items sent back to me directly when there's an issue, and I'm able to inspect the item and determine whether or not Amazon owes me a refund. If you ever recall an item, save the box, save the packing slip, and document everything. As soon as I get an Amazon return, here's the thing, guys. I get so many crummy packages from eBay sellers now. Every package I get, eBay or Amazon, first thing I do, I take a picture of the outside. Okay? Sealed package. I want a picture of the outside. I cut open the top, fold it open, immediately take a picture of the interior. I have all the documentation I need now in the event there's an issue. And if there isn't, what it cost me? 10 seconds? 10 seconds of my time to make sure that I had evidence in case there was an issue? I've had $2,000 to $3,000 worth of issues over the last 60 days trying to get equipment for this show, okay, from people on eBay. And I am really at the point where I was talking with Shane once, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to shop around, but when I buy my camera, I'm going to buy it on Amazon. And that's what he said. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm sure it's not going to be that bad. I'm on my second camera and my third microphone now, trying to get the correct thing sent to me. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let me look at some of these comments because I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Hello to you, Landshark. Yes, Tracy, 100%. You don't want someone to buy your item and receive someone else's dented, busted, or even potentially counterfeit item. So how does shipping work? So here's the thing that's great about shipping. Your shipping cost to the consumer is factored into your final fees. And when you're packaging your items up and you're sending them into Amazon, you get an exceptionally discounted rate from UPS, a deal that's been negotiated with Amazon to be able to send that item in. Or those items in. I send in 30 to 60 items at a time. I'll send in a 60-pound box. 60 pounds. And if it's going to California, it's usually less than $10. If it's going all the way across from one side of America to the other, and it's 60 pounds, it might be $15 or $16. Okay? Now, I want you to consider that for a second. Let's say all of these items were first-class items, and you were selling all of them on eBay, and you have 60 items at $4 a pop. That's $240 worth of shipping cost. Okay? So when we look at the immediate savings on the front end, it's totally worth it. And then we look at the actual savings or the amount of extra money we can make, because the total fee, it factors to about 20%. Now, it depends on the item. Some items, I'm only taking 50% on, okay? But that 50% is still greater than the amount of money that I would make on eBay, because not only do I have to pay my eBay fees, my PayPal fees, which will soon be my eBay integrated payment and my eBay integrated fee, I also have to pay for my own mailer. I also have to pay for my own shipping, okay? Those costs do add up rather quickly. 5 sealed copies of Windows 98 SE. Brandy says 50 pounds cost me $10 from Mississippi to Tennessee. Yep. What can you do with Windows 98? I sell old Windows all the time. There's great money in that too. What else we got here on my list? Commingling, and then taking advantage of the seller app. So now I have a handful of submitted questions, and then we have one that just came in a second ago. If you have any questions about starting on Amazon, now would be a great time to ask them as I'm going through these questions. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we had a question regarding books and sell-through on books. So every item that you scan is going to have a rank with the item. The rank determines the frequency at which the item actually sells. A lower rank is going to be better than a higher rank. When we look at something like books, book rank goes from 1, which is going to be a New York Times bestseller, just came out probably this week, going to sell a couple million copies of this book. A rank 1 item in pretty much any category, if you had an infinite supply of them, can be anywhere from, on the low end, 1 sale an hour to as many as 100 sales a minute with a rank 1 item. So if you sent in 1,000 copies of a number 1 book right now, you could, honest to God, sell 1,000 copies in probably 15 minutes. And I know that sounds disgustingly quick, but that's how good a rank 1 item is. Now, if you have a book that has, let's say, a rank of 250,000, it may sell in a couple of days to a week. Okay, this is with standard pricing. Now, if you have a book that has a rank of, let's say, 10 million, okay, I've seen them go as high as 15, 20 million. A 10 million ranked book, I don't know if I would consider sending it in unless I looked and I saw a long-standing history of that book actually selling, maybe on different platforms, maybe when priced correctly. So you would need more data to determine whether or not that book's going to be worth sending in. But for me, a rank of 10 million, I would need to know that I'm going to make at least $100 on that book, which means that I can let that book sit there for a year or 2 or 3 or 4 if necessary, until that item actually sells through. Brandy says, religious and nonfiction books sell well on Amazon. I agree completely. So we're going to be talking about gating as well here in just 1 second too. So the next question that we had submitted in was regarding label size and sending items to FBA. So there's 2 different types of labels that you guys can get to be able to handle your orders, or excuse me, there's 2 that I use personally. Okay, for my individual items, every item that you send to a warehouse, you have to place your own barcode on the back of. Now, what's really great is Amazon provides you with these barcode labels. You do not have to go purchase GS1 barcodes, which we're going to talk about here in a second as well. Amazon's going to give you those barcodes, and you print them out after you scan all your items in. So if I was ready to do my workflow right now, I would go to amazon.com/Seller Central, click on inventory, add an item, and then I would start scanning my items. And you can manually punch them in. You don't need a barcode scanner. I actually use a wireless 10 key. We showed this on the air the other day. I like staying sharp on my 10 key, so I do that over using a scanner now. But you would punch them all in, and then you say, I want to do this order, and then it'll provide you with all the labels. Now, there is a way, if you use third-party apps, to be able to print the labels out one at a time from a Dymo, Brothers, Zebra, whatever you want to use. You can print them out one at a time and apply them, or you can wait till the entire order is done, print out all of the labels and apply them, or depending on the type of order, you can say, I don't want to even label the items. I am feeling so lazy. I want somebody else to do it. And you can pay 10 cents an item and have somebody else do it. Okay. The pros is if you have 60 different items and it's going to take you a while to do it, I'll just pay somebody else to do it because it's not worth my time at that point. 60 items for $6? Sure. Go ahead and tag them. Do it. Okay. But if I have a bunch of the same SKU, maybe 4 or 5 SKUs, and I just got to sit there and knock them out, then that's not a problem. And no, you cannot print them out and tape them on. You must use a light adhesive or an easy peel label. Okay, it must be a self-adhesive label that can easily peel off. And this is a fantastic question. This is why I say having a mentor is key, because it's those little questions right there that require a correct answer the first time. Jumping onto a Facebook group that you're not familiar with and asking a question and getting the wrong answer is a fantastic way to get your account suspended on Amazon. I've been advised to pre-bag and label books individually. Holy cow. God, no. God, no. That's going to cost you a lot of money and time. The only reason I would bag a book is if it's a brand new book and you're concerned about damage on it. If it's a used book, I wouldn't even bag it. Okay. But if it's brand new and there's a drastic difference in the pricing on brand new opposed to used, then I would. But here's the thing: the frequency at which I find brand new books, it's so slim, so slim. But there are a few items that I've had, like specific types of plush, or items that I was just simply worried about them getting knocked out of their packaging, where I will bag them. And I have these large poly bags. Here's another thing: your bags must have a warning disclaimer on them, a suffocation and hazard warning on them, or you cannot send them into Amazon. It's a violation if you don't. So these are little things that you need to know. Yes, Brandy, yes. And here's the thing: you can totally bag those any item you want if you want to. Okay, there's no mandate saying you can't, but we want to reduce our workload as much as possible. Okay, now there is certain prep that's required by you, and then there's going to be some prep required by Amazon or optional to be done by Amazon, and you'll be shown that information at checkout. Now, Tracy Thrifts, thank you again, has mentioned to get a 30 up label, which basically means you have your labels 30 to a sheet. Hold on, I have some right over here. So I am using House Labels brand 30 up labels. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, you can barely see them on there, but there's 30 labels to a sheet on here. And I'll print these out on here, peel them off, and stick them straight to my items. So when we talk about workflow too, you're going to bring your items in. If you're me, if you're a content creator, bring your items in, show them to everyone, and then sort your items, right? Now, when you get home from your sourcing and you're looking at all your stuff, you're going to determine what's going to Amazon and then what's going to eBay. And I would recommend, if you have enough items, let's say you just did a massive trip, starting with Amazon first, because there's some items that you are going to believe you can sell on Amazon, but you're not going to be allowed to. And then they're going to end up going to the eBay pile. So it's important to go about it that direction. So I use these. They are pre-cut, if anyone's asking, and then you just peel them off and stick them straight on there. So the barcodes, Amazon will format it to where they print on here perfectly, and you just peel and stick and peel and stick and peel and stick. Make sure you get the ones that match your printer. Laser versus inkjet. If they do not match, they will smear. And if you smear a barcode, it's useless. It will never dry correctly. Make sure they match. This is another mentor thing that you need to know. I'm trying to fix my white balance right now. Maybe I should repaint the wall and get it this white. Maybe that'll help. So I'm going to look at some of these comments really quick. I've only put collectibles, rare books into poly bags with suffocation warnings just because they were valuable and I didn't want the corners ripped, etc. Yes. And that type of extra effort will help protect you in the event that you have to do a dispute. Tat Doctor says, yes, I knew about Label. I have bought Label, FBA, boxes, barcode scanner. Good. Tracy said, here's a tip, and then left nothing. Thank you, Tracy, for that. Yeah. And then the other types of labels that you're going to need are the labels that are going to go on your UPS box that you're sending outbound. Now, here's the great thing. Those labels are free. All you have to do is set up your UPS account, and you can order the supplies. They cost nothing. They come on a nice big sheet just like this, and they have a full half sheet and another full half sheet, both adhesive, and you peel them off. One's going to be your shipping label. The other one's going to be an FBA label for them to be able to see, and you stick both giant stickers on the box. And you can order those a couple hundred at a time if you want, but I would just recommend starting out with 50, because that's going to cover 25 individual boxes going out. Let's see. Just the tip, Tracy. Yeah, leaving us hanging here. Pat says, that's what happened to me on Amazon. We're not worthy. Yeah, you guys got to be careful with Amazon. So I tell people, get really, really good at eBay first before you move over to Amazon. Yeah, what was I going to say, too? I just had something on the tip of my tongue. I can't even remember now. Some items are going to have restrictions on them, not just because of the brand, but also because of the type of item that's in them, hazards and stuff like that. Think things like bear mace. Okay, so you're going to be asked to declare if there's anything sensitive within the packages. Do not lie. Okay, you can get banned, and you can even get charges for shipping things that you're not allowed to be shipping. Tracy Smith says, if you're also selling on Poshmark and have your label size down to 80% so that you can print them on the double-sided pages, make sure you change the size of your label back to 100 for AZ. That is a very, very specific tip, but it is a tip nonetheless. So thank you for that, Tracy. Now, the next question here that we had submitted in before the show started was things I would be ungated in on a fresh account. So a brand new account, what can I send in there? A bunch of stuff. About 90% of the stuff I send in, maybe even 95% of the stuff I send in, I have no issues with gating whatsoever. People talk about gating because they want to get into specific categories. So a gate or being ungated basically means that you have an item that you do not have permission to sell. Okay. And you need to get permission from Amazon to sell that item. And there's many reasons why you could be restricted from doing it. Think prescriptions, for instance, okay, or medical. Okay. I don't have clearance to sell medical because I'm not a pharmacist. I don't have the credentials to be able to do that. Now, I do know people like Juan who's earned clearance to sell medical because why? He works for a medical company. He was able to receive documentation to show that he has access and permission to be dealing and vending in these products. And they've given him permission by submitting those documents in. We look at a company like Microsoft. Microsoft says, hey, we don't want you selling our product because you might make our brand look bad by selling a crummy version of our product, or you might sell a counterfeit version of our product, and we don't want that happening either, okay? So you have to get permission from Microsoft, okay? Or you have to be able to prove that you're doing volume with Microsoft. You have to say, hey, look at all these units I got. Look at all the business I'm doing on Amazon or doing with Microsoft. Here's my proof. I'm doing business with them. Let's go ahead and make some money together. So getting ungated, don't let that be the thing that deters you from starting on Amazon, because I will scan through, and 30 items and maybe one, maybe two, I won't be able to send in out of a 30 order batch. Now, I do get prompted right then to sometimes try the ungating process. I am ungated in Pokemon. Holy cow. Now, not everyone is, but I have an established account with good seller feedback, and you'll be prompted sometimes where you can click on the request for approval button, and they're not checking for documentation, they're not checking for invoices, they're simply checking to see if you're a good seller with a good track record. And if you are, they'll go ahead and let you work with the brand. Or it's just a check systems to say, I understand that this isn't something that everyone gets to do, but I would like to have permission to do it as well. Let's take a look at all these comments we got coming in. Fellow poshers will know. I don't know if we have any here, but yeah, definitely do some hard recruiting if you'd like. The Pat the Reseller says, I couldn't find 30 items to send in to Amazon that I could even get ungated in. You're probably trying to send in a bunch of DVDs. That's the thing. So you can't send in DVDs. You can't send in popular music. You can send in books, records, cassettes, board games. I make a ton of money on board games, especially sealed ones. I'd love to know what category you're trying to sell in, where you can't find 30 items to be able to send in. KLC says, I'm not posh. I'm sure you are. You're super posh, yo. Tracy says, I really try to do retail arbitrage, RA. I like to find large quantities of the same item to send into AZ. I hate RA. And it's not that I have any issues with the people that do it. It's just not my jam. And I know there's a lot of money. If I stumble into one, I was in Walmart the other day while the whole toner fiasco was going on and everyone was talking about it. And if you're not inside of our group chat, you may have missed out on a several $100 Bolo that was getting passed around in there. Okay. But I don't care. I was in the Walmart. I looked to see if it was there. It wasn't there. I carried on with my day. I wouldn't have even driven down the street to go find another one. It just doesn't matter to me. Chris DeGoose says, I sell DVDs on Amazon daily. Now, people who have older accounts, sometimes they're automatically grandfathered in before the terms changed. I don't have one of those accounts. Now, the thing is, could I make a massive DVD purchase and be able to verify that I'm a DVD seller and be able to sell DVDs? Sure. And is it worth the money? Yeah, it really is. But I just don't care enough. And I know that sounds dumb, but I don't want to scan DVDs all day. And I'm not knocking people who do. It's just not my prerogative. I'd rather go source for treasures. And I know I'm leaving money on the table. And coming from the guy who's asking for money to fund his show, I see the hypocrisy there. I totally get it, okay? But it doesn't bring me joy. And I always tell you guys, first and foremost, do what makes you happy. The money will follow you second. So I don't knock those who sell DVDs. Props to you. But the thing is, if I was doing it, I would probably only go after sealed DVDs. When I do CDs, I hate scanning CDs. I'll run my finger right across the top and then and I'll feel one that's got the plastic, and I'll pop it out. And I'll keep going, pop, 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 and I'll get my stack of sealed CDs, and then I'll scan those ones. Okay. Is it lazy sourcing? Yeah, it really is. And then I'll check the spines for Dreamcast and PlayStation 1, or even, what is it? God, Keith Courage was on it. What's the name of the console, anyone? The game, the launch title was Keith Courage. CD-sized case. Anyone help me out here? Oh, God. I can't remember, but there's a handful of cases that you're going to want to look for, and I'll do that too. TurboGrafx, thank you. Yes. TurboGrafx 16, and then we also had the TurboGrafx Express and the TurboGrafx Duo. It's all coming back to me now, every bit of it. So those are some of the things regarding getting ungated. Easiest way to get ungated is to wait until you have the prompt. I think that's going to work this time. Wait until you have the prompt to try and get ungated in that category, and then give it a go. But there's no catch-all solution for ungating. There's no magic potion. Don't pay a company to try and get ungated. Don't do faulty buys. Don't use crummy invoices. It's not a safe and smart thing to do with your account. Wait till your account is a little bit more mature too. Don't go on an ungating spree and try and get as many categories as you can, because somebody told me like, oh, they're just giving out ungating on jewelry and furniture. All you have to do is just go do it and apply, and you'll guarantee to get in it. I don't care. I'm not going to sell furniture on Amazon. I'm not going to sell jewelry on Amazon. It doesn't matter to me. Go after the categories that matter to you and try and get ungated in those. And if you need help, if you need some assistance a little bit further, don't be afraid to contact me. I'll be happy to help you out. You can find us on Instagram at Reseller Roundup, or my personal Instagram, some guy from Fresno. KLC Reselling might sound like a silly question. There's no such thing as a silly question, but there is such a thing as bad questions. Don't believe what they tell you in the media. Bad questions do exist. When you have an eBay business account, you should have a separate personal account if you want to buy personal items. Would you have to do that with Amazon? Now, here's the thing. That is a suggestion that you have two accounts, one for buying and one for selling. I don't. I've been using the same account for 13 years. I do all of my buying and all of my selling from the exact same account. It doesn't matter to me. If people want to see what I buy, I really, really could care less. So I think that's part of the reason why some people do it. I don't know what the other reasons are. If people have other reasons for it. Yeah, this is something that's been circulating around, around the internet, this talk about having two accounts. And I think that's also why it might be, why the numbers for eBay as far as number of active sellers are so far off, is because of the number of people who actually have multiple accounts. And yes, Tat Doctor, some may say the only silly question is the question that you don't ask. This is very, very true. So if anyone has any explanation beyond having two accounts, Krista Goose says, just got invited to ungate in pesticides. Don't really sell any, but went through the training and now ungated. Less sells equals less competition. Yes, I saw the test for pesticides, and I had a pesticide product to sell, and I decided not to do the test. It was not worth my time to go through all of that over one item. Now, if I was casually stumbling into it like Joe does, finding giant jugs of Roundup, and being able to send those in for $70 some odd a pop, yeah, I would work to get ungated and take that test. I agree 100%. KLC says, I don't at the moment, but eBay tells you when you sign up to do a business account. It's a little bit odd. Now, here's the thing. UK account settings might be a little bit different here or in the UK than they are here in America. I don't know of a distinction between a seller account and a business account. It's just an account here. So there might be some type of regional stuff that is changing it up a little bit. But I'll tell you what, you got my word. I'll look into that a little bit more and see if I can come up with some extra information for you regarding the regional differences on that between this week and next. And then the last question that we had submitted in, this is a great chance to ask any more questions that you guys might have before we get to our last story of the day as well. And we're going to power through it because we're already running behind schedule as it is. Where do I send my items for FBA? This is a fantastic thing to know. And I've even shocked people who are doing Amazon right now who aren't doing this. Do you see the people put together their Amazon orders and they put up their pictures online and they got like 10 boxes in front of them and none of them are even that big, but they got 10 different boxes going to 10 different warehouses across America? That person is throwing money away. They're taking money and they're throwing it straight in the trash from the 3-point line as quick and as aggressively as they can. Okay? And this doesn't make sense to a lot of people until I break it down for them. You can send everything in 1 or 2 boxes. Everything. You have 1 box for oversized and 1 box for standard size. Okay? That's it. Plain and simple. How do you do that? It's in your settings. You can tell Amazon, I want to put all of my stuff together, send it to 1 warehouse, and then when it gets to that warehouse, I'll go ahead and pay you $0.25 an item to redistribute those items and send them to every other warehouse that they need to be at. Why wouldn't you do that? Okay? I see people doing, they got a $7 box, a $9 box, a $12 box, another $6 box, and they're sending them all out. Pay the $0.25 an item. It's $0.25 an item. Let them redistribute the items for you and get them to the other warehouses because you'll save a ton of money, and think about the logistics headache behind that too. Okay? If you can put it all in 1 box, you don't have to include a manifesto. Okay? No need for a manifesto if they all go in the same box, which is a nightmare as well if you have to go through and do inventory checks, and then you just sort it out, smalls and larges, and Amazon sorts all that for you and tells you where they want you to send stuff to. So every time I've done an Amazon order over the last 2.5 years, I've shipped out 1 or 2 boxes every single time. That's it. Plain and simple, guys. I don't understand why some of you guys complicate or don't look into it. Why is nobody talking about this? Somebody get me another. Can I get another venti frappuccino? $100% you can, Future Fortunes. 100%. They make labels for every single printer you can think of to handle the small ones. I do recommend using house labels. We aren't sponsored by them in any way. We should probably see if they'd want to sponsor the show. I do recommend house labels because it's a great combination of quality, and they're manufactured here in America. And the team, I've spoken with the owner of the company, really, really nice person. They work great deals for you. And he was the person, believe it or not, the person who taught me about regional boxes. I had no clue about them before meeting or speaking with him. Great guy. Let's see. Kiki Mom says, I do that. It's usually $5.75 extra, but better than 4 to 5 small boxes. It's totally worth it. House label shipping is really high. Buy them off eBay. They usually come with free shipping. And if the price is still too high, call them. They, believe it or not, they have a direct line of contact, and you can ask them, are you doing any specials right now? And when I bought my labels last, they were doing a baseball promotion with if their home team won the game week over week, they would take an extra 5% off. And when I got my labels, it was 30% off that week. I couldn't complain. I ordered 100 rolls of labels at one time during that promotion. I still have probably 60 rolls of labels with me right now. Yep. So get your labels free from UPS for specific printers for your big labels. I think they might even have some options for small labels as well. Before we carry on, I hope you feel a little more intelligent about Amazon. If you have any questions, now's a great time to ask. If you're looking to be a part of our program and you say, I want direct mentorship from you, Jay, when I start my journey onto Amazon, visit patreon.com/Bolorama. You can get set up. I guarantee you I am the cheapest and most accessible person that you will find online. Ask anyone in the comments. Ask anyone at all. I am always reachable. You get the fastest response time out of any person who does training online. Thank you so much, Pam. Hello, guys. Hello. Testing. 1, 2, and 3. Let me know when you guys can see me. We had a very large storm cloud go overhead. We have some flash flood warnings in effect right now for the Kern County area. If you're up towards Lake Isabella for some reason, please be safe. Yeah, I was notified of a severe storm situation. I want to let you guys know that we may lose power here over the next few minutes during our stream. And if that does happen, we will unfortunately wrap up the show here if that does happen. And I will keep everyone posted on social media if anything crazy does happen here in the current area. But we had a very large thundercloud go overhead, which happened to knock our internet out temporarily, and we've had a little bit of light flickering. So if the content does go offline for some reason, please visit facebook.com/groups/Bolorama, and I will probably set up a mobile stream off my cell phone from there to be able to conclude the remainder of our show, unless weather conditions do not allow us to proceed further. So if anyone else has any more Amazon questions, please let me know, and I will be happy to answer those for you. Yeah, that looks like everything that we had here. Guys, we have one last piece of news. I'm going to keep this one quick. So I asked everyone within the group, and here I want to say this first and foremost, before I even show that again. Our group is one of the best damn groups online. End of story, plain and simple. Okay? I have never seen so many people be able to talk openly about politics anywhere on the internet without conflict or confrontation. Anywhere. And you're probably wondering, like, Jay, why did you ask everyone about their political affiliation? Who are you calling out? Okay? Thank you so much, KLC. You're a rock star. Let everyone, hey, I know you're shouting everyone else out in the comments on Instagram. How about you give this boy a shout out? So, I asked everyone, I said, hey guys, what's your political affiliation? I need to know for the show. And you guys answered in droves. We got over 100 responses on our poll. I couldn't believe it. And we had a little bit of discourse down below, and everyone kept it friendly. It was so nice to see. So nice to see. We had some bipartisan conjecture. Oh, I loved it. It was lovely. Thank you for that. Everyone who voted, thank you for that. We're not even voted. I guess that's the right word. Vote, it has some appeal. And the reason I asked, guys, is because we had a letter come in from eBay Main Street, okay? Now, just so we know the vote results, we had about 70 people who said that they lean towards the right. We had about 40 people say that they lean towards the left. We had about 10 people say that they're center. We had 5 people who said they don't follow politics at all. Mindy's in there. I know she's lying. And then we had 5 people who abstained from voting completely. I've got to stop here for one moment. Thank you. Chris the Goose, man of the hour, top supporter of the show, said, better get the reformat of the ticket out of the way before the lights go out. The reformat of the ticket. I don't know what you mean, buddy. I'm a little bit lost there. Maybe you can help me out here. I want to thank you, though, wholeheartedly for that. The ticker. The reformat of the ticker. What's going on with the ticker? What am I missing? Oh, the tally. Oh, gosh. You done broke the tally. Chris the Goose. Let's go ahead and give Chris the Goose a lovely thank you. Can we all thank him in the chat for helping us reach our first of many milestones, the $1,000 mark on our goal to get to eBay open. That's so flippin' significant. I didn't think that was going to happen anytime soon, to be completely honest. And a lot of people thought that I was foolish for expecting that to happen, but let's go ahead and get this reformatted really quick. It's so touching. I'm going to get this fixed just because you asked me so nicely. Let's make this as big as possible. Who's gonna bust it and put a $1 donation? Don't bust it right away. Let's enjoy this moment of looking at it at a perfect $1,000 mark. It almost looks cartoonish. It almost looks unreal. Chris the Goose, you're a flippin' rock star, buddy. I appreciate you so much. Chris has probably been one of the most generous people that I've ever interacted with, period. Just very selfless, and I love seeing stuff like that. So thank you so much to you, Chris. We got Susan in the audience. Hello, Susan. Susan's going to come out sourcing with me on, I think, the 11th of this month. I'm just greatly looking forward to that. But thank you so much, Chris. Really, truly do appreciate that. And if you need anything from me, I've always said this before, graphic design, web help, private mentoring, bolos, whatever I can do to help you out on my end, let me know. If you're going to be at eBay Open, let me buy you a dinner, please, if you're going to be out there. But I asked everyone, I said, where are we leaning? What's going on? And roughly we have about a 70% lean to the right, about a 30% or 40, 60-40, 70-35, 70-30, 70-30 right to left leaning. So predominantly in our survey from people who interact online, use social media for groups to be able to improve their eBay abilities, we have a majority of people who lean to the right. And you might see this in other groups too. You might see popular content creators talking about politics on their timelines, and they'll have a tendency to lean to the right. And part of that has to do with just being a business person, and generally speaking, it's more fiscal issues that are important to people on the right, and generally more social issues that are important to people on the left. There's nothing necessarily wrong with either one of those, but that's generally why you see that slant. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because I received an eBay Main Street letter. And eBay Main Street is where you can kind of see the back end of political stuff that's happening, or not political, government issues and things that are happening behind the scenes on eBay. I'd recommend signing up for their emails if you're not getting them. I'll usually cover the most relevant ones here on the show, but we had this one that came up, and it really took me for a spin. It said, early Democratic presidential candidate polling shows clear leader. Now, if that's not the most left slanted title for an article that I've seen in a while, I don't know what is. Okay. Now, the polls that they chose were somewhat selective. Okay. And they put some information here, but this is where that link takes you to. And they talked about the race for the presidency. Now, I can't see a clear reason why eBay would be motivated to talk politics. The only thing I can see, you're going to have to forgive me, guys. Milk does that to me sometimes. I don't have milk often. It's with the coffee. But I don't see a reason for eBay to do this unless they're trying to curry favor from a specific demographic of users. Now, it goes without saying that a majority of the youth has a left lean to them right now. And I don't know if they're attempting to appeal to the left or what, but I don't know. A lot of companies are doing this. Obviously we've seen Netflix in the news recently regarding politics. We've seen Disney in the news recently regarding politics, specific state issues that are causing this to happen. But I couldn't see much reason for eBay to jump out and say like, hey, look at the left. They're winning right now. Okay. And I went ahead and did a little bit more research. And it turns out that Devin does not like Trump at all. Okay. And I found this to be a little bit surprising because, like I said, generally people have a more of a slant out to the right are the ones who are more for business. And I'm going to stay exceptionally impartial here on this. And if you have a question, I'll be happy to answer. But I really want to stick to the facts on this one here. Now, in 2016, when Trump came into office, Devin Wenig actually put a statement out regarding it. Now, this statement that's up here in this corner, okay, I want you to notice it says president at the top, and they're talking about the presidential race that's coming up. This entire paragraph, 0 mentions of Trump. 0. Not said once, okay, through the whole article. And I just found that a little bit interesting that they did it that way. Well, when Trump came into office, Wenig said, he acknowledged this quote unquote sense of fear and disruption caused by the impact that changing economic trends, including technology innovations, are having on people's lives. He then made the case for eBay as a tech platform that erases boundaries rather than builds them. Wenig highlighted that eBay has founded by an immigrant, the French-born entrepreneur Pierre Omidyar, in a not-so-veiled nod to the anti-immigrant push that galvanized Trump's base. The CEO also noted that employees of all backgrounds are critical to the success of a global company like eBay. This diversity is one of the most valuable assets we have as we have driven our business forward. Wenig then donated $2,700 to the Hillary campaign last year, according to public records. It's a little bit interesting, a little bit different. So we're kind of seeing a little bit more of it again right now. We're seeing eBay's lean to the left, which is something that I didn't expect a company like eBay to publicly take a stand on. It leads me to wonder, like, what is the vested interest in doing that? Now, with somebody like Trump in office who's like so gung-ho about improving the lives of American business, you would think that eBay would try and curry favor from a Trump-type character to try and put a stop to internet sales tax and stuff that is negatively impacting American sellers. And I haven't seen eBay say anything regarding trying to work with Trump to try and make the selling platform better for American sellers. Nothing of the sort. So when I go to eBay Open, I'm going to try and broach the topic lightly and try and get a little bit more clarification of where eBay stands in regards to President Trump and how they feel they can work with the Republican Party to try and make things better for domestic sellers here. Because it's clear that Trump is not for international sellers, and maybe that could be partly why eBay isn't so happy with them right now. Makes a little bit of sense. And then last up, guys, we do have one little last bit. Oh, you know, I don't even have a slide for it. I got no slide for it, guys. A lot of people got banned on Amazon this week, okay? A lot. A lot of people got suspended. Some people got permanent ban. I'm going to briefly touch base on why, because it may affect some of you, but I don't want to stay on this story long because I really want to get to... Actually, let me ask, is anyone affected by the Amazon ban right now, or do you know anyone that could benefit from this information? Because if not, I'm going to go ahead and save this story for next week, and we're going to go ahead and start on pickups right now. I'll give you about 10 seconds to talk amongst yourself. Look at some of these comments. And thank you again, Chris. Genuinely. I do appreciate that, man. You got no idea. Look at all those O's. Hope I'm not banned. No, you would know if you're banned. Okay, looks like we don't have any interest in that story at this time. We're going to sandbag that story till next week. If you do watch this later and you are here specifically for that story, please send me a message. I will send you my notes. If you can't wait, if you need direct consultation, I'll offer it to you at no cost. Okay? People got banned for, Pam wants a TLDR, lying about ASINs, I guess would be the easiest way to break that down. Listing hijacking as well. Fortune says pickups, please. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to pickups. Guys, this week was nuts. I'm going to take a button down because it's getting hot in here. Don't want it to get too hot for you guys, though. This week's pickups were nuts. I'm going to see if Daniel can turn the air up really quick, too. It is toasty under these lights. And especially with the cloud cover, too. I'm sure it's trapping a lot of that heat in. Air up, please. 2 degrees. You know, I need to get one of those Nest, so that way I can do it from here. Guys, the pickups were nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. We're going to be looking at some stupid items. We're going to be looking at some items that I got for me. We're going to be looking at brands that I've never seen before with my own eyes, outsourcing, first time finding them. It's going to be cool. So, like I said, some of these are dumb. We're going to start off with a heavy hitter, okay? We're going to be the epitome of a pickup. Is there a flicker on the screen? It's on my forehead. Yeah, we're having some issues with the power. Power hit here. What the heck? Yeah, be careful, Brandy. So we're going to literally the epitome of a pickup. What would be a pickup that's a pickup? Not a pickup truck, but... Tell me this isn't the stupidest thing to find at a swap meet, okay? I can't believe this. Look at this thing, okay? This is an Endeavor Robotics, okay? This thing looks like it's built to go defuse bombs. It literally has a camera on the front of it and has a robotic arm for picking things up. Who doesn't want this? Look at this. So, what is this for? Okay, yeah, Johnny 5, exactly. This thing's for going out and doing your own, I don't know, exploring. You would set this bad boy loose in the mountains and go do some digging and exploration. This thing is gnarly, and I would keep it, Pam, but I don't have the remote for it. I know the remote's going to be a fortune. I'm not going to have a sufficient way to test it, but I believe I'm going to get $100 for this in parts. And I went to the swap meet today, and that's where I got this. And I walked up to the booth, and I am so happy I got there early. And I'll tell you why. Every single dude I passed on the way out with this thing, eyeballing me and eyeballing this item. I have never, ever gotten so much attention carrying something out of the swap meet until you see a guy walking down the swap meet with this in his hand. How cool is that? Every guy wanted this item. No doubt in my mind. So I walk up to the booth early, 3 minutes till 8, and 8 a.m. and I see it there. Oh, there goes the air, lovely. And I see it there, and I look at the guy. I'm like, "Hey, how much is that?" And he goes, "Give me $8." And I'm like, are you sure?" And he's like, "Just give me 5." Okay, you drive a hard bargain, my friend. I'll go ahead and give you the $5. Not a problem. And hand him a crisp fiver. And I look at him and I say, "Hey, man, I just got here. It was a solid 5-minute walk to my car. It was really far away. For some reason, this Sunday was slammed. And if you guys like, okay, we're going to do an exclusive stream just to our Facebook group. If you're not a member, you will miss this. I am not going to stream it to YouTube. I will be live streaming a night swap meet this Friday. A night swap meet. Okay, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when I plan to do it, but I will have more updates in the group before then. So I asked him, I said, hey, can you do me a solid? Can you hold on to this till I get back? And then I'll pick it up on the way out. He said, sure. So I didn't even have to carry the thing around with me. I think it weighs about 12, 15 pounds. It's a real deal thing. It's not some kid's toy. This is a real deal device. Okay, and the camera alone sells for like $50, I believe. Joe says, $1,000 nice. I need you to break it, Joe. Need you to break that for me. But yes, fantastic pickup. Thrilled to get it. Easy money. I guess we'll go through my backpack from today because it's the first thing on my mind, the first thing in the way. We might not even get to everything, but I'll stay on the air as long as you guys want me on the air. I haven't even opened this up yet. I just had too much stuff going on. I just want to give a shout out to Talene peanuts, okay? Japanese style roasted peanuts. These things are delicious. Do not pay more than $1.50 for a ream of these things. They're a fantastic treat, loaded with MSG as well, just so you guys know. Joe coming in hot with the $1.99 super chat, bringing our total to a nice, clean, crisp, even $1,001.99. Thank you so much for that super chat, Joe. And then I got some video games too. Guys, some of these video games, they're still worth great money. Amazon Crossing New Leaf is gaining more traction now than ever because Nintendo refuses to make another great Animal Crossing game. So this older game is still, I think, $20-25 on Amazon. Low ROI on it because of the fee structure for it for some reason. So it may be an eBay play. It's a 50-50 at this point. So this item is going in my eBay bin first for consideration on eBay, and then it may end up going to Amazon. And then next up, we have another video game, and this was one that I've never seen before, and what drew me to it was Natsume. And I believe, or I'm an idiot, Natsume also made Harvest Moon. A lot of you guys out there know what Harvest Moon is, and anytime I see Natsume, I stop and I look it up. This is about a $15 game used, maybe a little bit more if it had the manual. Pro tip, guys, I gotta stress this to you. I understand buying CDs can be a little bit scary, okay? The first thing you want to check for is scratches, and then the best thing you can do, absolute best thing you can do, is take it and lift it straight up to the light, okay? Look at it through the sun. Don't be a dummy and look through the center and see the sun, but bring the sun around the edge of the disc, circle it around, and if you see light, pure light coming through, either a pinhole or a scratch on this side, okay, the disc is most likely ruined. Okay, scratches on this side, not a huge deal. There's like 8 or 9 layers of protective coating here. A single scratch on this side will destroy the disc. Okay, and if you need to, buy a dammer surfacer too. They're not that expensive, and they'll pay for themselves very quickly. But yeah, interesting video game. The more video games you buy, the quicker you'll be able to determine which ones are going to be worth your time to look up. Those of you who watched the stream today saw me pick up some of the items that are in here, but you definitely didn't see everything. Excuse me again. I picked up this really flippin' adorable Zoom, spelled TSUM. Looks like it was at Goodwill for $2.99. It's in fair shape. It's going to need some gentle spot cleaning across the bottom, but it has the original tag. Original price $15. Now these larger Zooms are getting very difficult to find, especially the early edition ones. And now, Joe, you said this to me the other day. You said, I don't know plush. Okay. Every week on this show, I showcase something about plush, and I like to teach people about it. Zooms are pill-shaped stuffed animals, and they start small. They get about this big, and then they get to about, I think, the 2.5 foot mark. The larger the better, the cleaner the better. And there's certain ones that are much harder to find than others due to desirability, like the Cheshire Cat, which can fetch $35 for one this size sometimes, depending on the model. But this one right here, I don't expect to get less than $15 for it, even if I sell it locally, but it's super adorable. And I can see Susan asking me to hold this for her because she loves her Disney stuff. So it may even go to a patron. A friendly reminder, if you are a patron, any item that you see, you can purchase from me at cost. You only pay what I pay, and shipping as well if it's going to be expensive to ship it, or you can pick it up for free. But you pay what I pay if you're a patron. I won't list it online. I'll let you have it, but you have to promise to keep it, okay? No flipping it out for a profit. We don't do that here. We got Fat Girl Sewing in the house. And this is going in my eBay bin, okay? Dropping in a fat donation, $10 super chat coming in. And I got to stress this again. You got to come join us in our community. Okay, I tell you this every single week. Pam, get her some links. You got to come join us. We love positive people who help support the show. Same thing with you, Krista Goose. We'd love to have you in the community. I know I extended that invite to you before, but we'd love to have you there. Anyone who's helping to keep us on air, it means so much to us. And thank you infinitely for that super chat. Those of you who don't know, guys, we made some big purchases this week, okay? First big purchase that we made to help improve the quality of the show is, if you noticed, did anyone notice I wasn't holding a microphone this week on the training video that we aired earlier? No microphone in hand. Why? Because we have this absolute beast of an XLR mic, okay? This thing is ridiculous. This is the microphone. And I'll give you a scale. This is a chapstick, okay? This is the cap of a chapstick. This is the microphone. This microphone is nuts. And it was the microphone that I used. Yes, it's a lav mic or a lavalier mic. This thing is amazing. And I was able to purchase this through the funding that you guys provide. I also purchased a brand new camera, which hopefully will be in this week, and I'll be able to do extensive testing with it. I'll be able to take it with me on the go while I'm sourcing. It's going to be a fantastic device. I also purchased an upgraded, this is my Stream Deck that I use to control everything that happens on the show. I upgraded to a Stream Deck XL. So all of the money goes right back into the company. Wardrobe, equipment, video production, all of those things. We have a handful of other things that we need to buy. We're going to get to them in time, but thank you again, Fat Girl Sewing. I truly appreciate it. Go subscribe to her channel, even though she doesn't put out more videos, which she should. Put out some content, and go check her out. But thank you so much again for that donation. What item were we on? Oh, yeah, so that item is going to my eBay bin. Guys, check this one out. Oh, God. Look at this thing. Look at this nuts. I picked up some masks, and I know these things aren't worth much, okay? But I'm going to be able to move these things locally. I got this one right here, which is a wolf, and this is fine, too. It's just a little smushed in. This is a wolf mask, and they were selling these at Walmart. And I picked these up at a yard sale, of course. And then I've got a unicorn. I may be sending this out to KLC. I told her I was thinking about just sending her a ridiculous mask. So if you're interested in these, of course, I'll sell them to you at cost again. These are going to what bin are we going to? The local bin, okay? That's where those are going. We are not going to attempt to sell those online. Those are geared specifically towards the local market. Future Fortunes coming in with the $5.01 super chat, bringing us to a nice, even what are we at? $117 or $1,017, not $117. God, that was like 8 weeks ago. Thank you so much for that, Future Fortunes, as well as you. If you're not within our community yet, we would love to have you. Thank you again for your contribution. Every bit going back into the show. And here's the thing too. This Stream Deck that I have, I opened it up and told anyone, like, if you're interested, if you're a streamer, content creator, if you need one of these things, I'll sell it to you just barely below cost. Barely below. And I said I could do $100 on it for the old one. And the reason I'm so aggressive on it is because I want to be able to get as much back for it, so that way I have more to reinvest into the show. So, and those of you who are curious, this is a very, very expensive mic. Retail from the website, you're looking at about $500 for this. And I'm going to, by the end of the show, I will tell you how I got this for free. I know, a little crazy, huh? It was a long story, and it started on Facebook, and I'll explain it later. We didn't even finish going through the backpack. What am I doing? So I picked this up. This is NSFW content. This is A.R. Tonliko Quoga, Nell of the RCL. It's a art book, okay? And I also have the CD inside of there as well. And this CD right here. And God damn, this thing is filthy, okay? Now you look how disgusting that is, okay? I will restore this to brand new looking condition. And I actually did get some crud on the inside of this, so I'm actually going to put a Kleenex down and then sandwich this back in here. And this is a very interesting art book with some interesting content. And I believe I can get around $30 for this. And I picked this up for $3 at the swap meet. The swap meet today, Juan Galvin, longtime friend of the show, former guest on the Pickers podcast that we did years ago. He was asking me about this, and this is going in the eBay pile. He asked me what it's like picking in Bakersfield. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I wake up, I go out my door, and people are just giving away money. They're just handing it out all day long. They're like, here, have some money, go list some stuff, do what you got to do. And that was another one of those items. KLC Reselling got to keep it even. Not sure on conversion, though. I don't know what is going to happen. I know 3 pounds is roughly $4.10, give or take. I have no clue what is going to happen with my tool now. And KLC Reselling, thank you so much for that. And you've got my word that when you hit 1,000 subscribers and you're able to monetize, I won't be like some of these other people. I will come back to your channel and I will be one of your first super chats to help get you off the ground as well. And I want to say, KLC Reselling is one of those YouTubers who has a lot of passion for what she's doing and the videos that she's making. You'll see the joy in what she's doing. It's very, very apparent. And she was also on one of our other shows that we did. I'm sorry, this camera. This is the problem why we need that other one. It just likes to change the white balance when I lean. But yeah, check her content out. Go subscribe to her channel. She makes top-notch stuff. Great energy too. And I have another channel that I want to shout out as well. It's called Lumi, L-U-M-I, and they talk about boxes and stuff. Fantastic. Let me go in and push that comment through. Thank you for putting up that link to go check out KLC's channel. So y'all scamper really quick and go subscribe and then come back. I'll wait. It's fine. Okay. So what else do we got in my backpack full of wonder? Now, I want you to know everything except for the mask so far was purchased today. So we have $100 profit on the robot, probably $15 profit on the plush, about another $30 or $40 profit on the video games. We're doing pretty sweet so far. I picked this. Oh, don't want to damage it. Don't want to damage it. I'm going to have to show all of these at once because they may have gotten tangled. Okay, this one's standalone. We have a red. Bonus points for anyone who can tell me what color this is because it's not called red. But we have a red N64 controller, OEM. Now, when you buy these, you have to make sure that this is indented here on the front. If it does not have that impression that says Nintendo, it is not authentic. It is fake, okay? You have to check for that when buying these. And you also have to check for the tightness of the stick. Notice how this is dead center in the standard position and snaps back to center. A good joystick is mandatory. A fair joystick is okay, but until you felt a perfect joystick, this is a perfect joystick. Because this joystick is so good, I can command premium prices for this controller. Upwards of $35, maybe even $40 for this one controller. I paid $7.50 for this, okay? I don't think it's, is it Ruby? I don't think it's Ruby. I don't know. There's a name for it. And thank you to everyone who's going and subscribing to KLC. It is almost 3 over there right now in the morning. So I got to give props to KLC for staying on so long. Lee James, got to go. Thank you as always, my friend. I appreciate your patronage and your help and your friendship as well. The next one up is a Pokemon controller. These are one of the hardest controllers to find. Even in this condition, with a slight amount of wear across the front, this is an all-day long $60 bill for this controller. They do not come up often. This was sold as part of an exclusive set, okay? So if you see this, this is a snap buy with a busted. This could be completely sheared off the front. No joystick whatsoever. This is still a mandatory buy. Even at the $15 price point with no joystick, you buy this controller. I kid you not. With no joystick, you can still get $50 for this shell. This is a very difficult face to find, okay? The better this condition is on this part right here, the more money you're going to make. And again, check for authenticity. Make sure it has that impression there on the front. And I want to note something too, okay? Now, you can see the controller has shine to it, okay? But you see how it's glossy on the impression? If the entire face of the word Nintendo is glossy, right inside of that oval, it may be counterfeit. It has to have the matte, then gloss, then matte, then gloss from outside to inside to be authentic. And if you need more information on that, send me a DM as well. Sleep is for wimps. 3 a.m. here. You guys are champs. Like, really champs. These are going into the eBay bin. Next up, Great pickup. And you know what? I didn't inspect this as much as I should have. I didn't care. I trusted the guy. Everything looks good on it. I should have inspected it more, but the price was good enough for me to go ahead and gamble on. We have an original Super Nintendo. This is Super Nintendo Model 1. And no, unfortunately, guys, this item is not for sale to patrons. This is staying with me as a testing device so that I'm able to test Super Nintendo games moving forward. We got 2 OEM controllers with it as well. Very pleased with that. But it will be available to patrons when I do move. When I start taking my show on the road, all of my testing equipment will be up for grabs. And then I also got the power supply with it as well. Very pleased about this OEM power supply. You can tell because the nipple end is going to be gray. And this is a plug to look out for. If you're ever inside of a bin of plugs and you see this sticking out, you have a $15 to $20 bill on your hand. So I always look for these plugs when I'm digging through bins. You know, it's been really great is if Daniel actually turned the air on for me. And then we also have a green N64 controller as well. Now, the green ones are the least desirable of the bunch, but I got it for $7.50. I'm probably going to keep this one for testing purposes as well, just waiting for a console to come through. I paid $40 for the Super Nintendo with cables. I believe they're still worth about $100. The market's a little bit all over the place. Could be higher, could be lower. Haven't been a game dealer in a while, and like I said, I'm buying it for me, so I'm a little bit unsure on that one. I'm going to need it, so... Let me get all these other bits. And then I picked up another device for me. This is a GameCube controller that's compatible. I think this is compatible with the GameCube and the Wii U. I hope. Oh no. This might be a wireless. But this is a Hori controller. This is a $30 controller on its own. It has been opened on the bottom, but the contents inside are still brand new and sealed. I paid $6 for this, and this was heavily social engineered to get the price down. The original ask price was $18, so I did a lot of bundling and a lot of deals from one vendor to be able to get the price that I wanted on this bad boy. Very, very great price to pay for this and brand new. Might even be worth a little bit more than that. This is staying with me though, unless it's not the right type that I need. And last up, I picked this up for my buddy Chris Roberts. He loves collecting old not game stores, like video stores and game store and like other little collectible tat. And this used to have a CD inside of it, and you would go to a machine kind of like a Red Box, but it was Blockbuster. So I got this for him for 50 cents. And we got one more game. Outrun for the Xbox. And don't worry, guys, we're going to look at some non-gaming stuff here in a second. Outrun for the Xbox, or Outrun 2 for the original Xbox. This is about a $13 disc. I paid $2 for it. It was in good enough condition to justify the buy. It's going to eBay. I don't sell disc-only stuff on Amazon. I just don't want to run the risk of returns and stuff. Let's take a look at our next bin. I don't think we're going to get through all of it, guys. We got a couple of backpacks. This again is a local play, but I will check online to see if it's worth it to sell it on there. I picked up these bags for $1.50 a piece. The first one up, we have an official Minecraft bag. This stitching can be very easily cleaned up, and even this exterior damage here can be cleaned up. The marking, that can all come right out. I'm not too overly worried with condition. I just love the overall styling on this, and $1.50, you cannot go wrong. I will chuck this whole thing in the wash and make it look new. Look at the print on the inside even. They really went to great detail. Mojang, the creator of Minecraft, is known for making really, really high quality stuff. This was designed by Jinx, which is another gamer company, and they make great products as well. I was looking at it. I'm like, they have to have some type of embellishment for the pull tab as well. Great to see that too. This will be, I don't know, $20 local, maybe even a little more online. I'm going to do a little bit more market research first. And then JanSport is a really popular backpack brand. I know one of you ladies out there is probably going to want this. This is pink with skulls. It's going to need a little bit of cleaning up. May have had a little bleaching incident here on the bottom, but again, at $1.50, this bag is going to fly out if I list it local. I could probably ask $20 on it and have no problem getting the money out of that. Guys, I picked up a brand that I never ever find, and it's new without tags. What brand are we talking about? We're talking about Patagonia. Holy cow, the mother load. Now, the thing is, I understand this is a children's vest. I get it. It's not going to be as worth as much as an adult's vest, but we're coming through summer, and these vests are getting harder to get, okay? And we have it here, and it's in I don't think it has the tags on the interior, but it's in brand new condition. Yeah, it's a 2T size. If you have a child that could use a 2T sleeveless Patagonia vest, I expect to get, I don't know, at least $20 for it. I can't see it being less than that. I know some of you guys are clothing experts and you can let me know what you think it's going to go for, but I can't see it being less than 20. I don't really see it being more than 40, but there's certainly money in here. If you get familiar with this logo right there, Patagonia, get really familiar with that. That's something to keep your eyes open for. Hats, vests, shirts, you name it. They make everything, bags even. If you see Patagonia, always take the time to research and see what it's worth. I think this thing might even have feathers inside of it too. I'll do a little more research though, but great little looking piece. That's, again, an eBay item right there. I picked up some books. I don't know what they're about. I got these for $1 a piece. And these are hardcover. This one right here has the museum quality pages on the inside. I know one of them are archival or rag. I don't know what you guys call them outside of the art industry. But yeah, I picked up 3 books, hardcover, great condition. And I'll either read them, and if it's not the type of reading for me, I'll just send them straight to Amazon. If somebody wants them, I'll go ahead and kick them across to you as well. I picked this up. This makes noise. I may keep this on set. It's kind of cute, needs a little bit of a wash as well. I think I paid $1 for this, but it's a UPS plane, and it makes the same standard plane noise that every single plane that I find makes. It makes takeoff sounds. Isn't that adorable and annoying? But yeah, so cute little UPS plane. Yeah, I should. We can just leave that there for now. That's an apt spot for it. It just needs a little bit of a cleaning first. But yeah, it's a very, very cute piece. I love finding stuff like that. I'm gonna bring down my levels a little bit because I think I'm peaking a bit. So you may need to turn your audio up a bit. I just don't want to blow you guys out and get any crackling on that end. Guys, this is an easy Amazon play. I scanned this bad boy in, picked up these electric scissors at a yard sale, and I love it. I love it when I go up to a yard sale and I see a high quality, expensive, brand new sealed item. I'm like, hey, how much do you want on the scissors? Just give me $1. You got it. And I looked it up, $50 with a decent rank on Amazon. So anytime I see a new item like this, the first thing I do is I scan the back of it. And it had the barcode right there, and it told me it was a $50 bill on Amazon. Easy peasy lemon squeezy out the door. So this is going straight into the Amazon bin. That same house had a few more items. I picked up a NASB Audio Bible MP3. This has about a $7 return on Amazon. Nothing huge, but money's money. I picked it up for 50 cents, I believe, and then I also picked these up too. These are vinyl lettering wall art. This one says, "Love is patient, is kind, love never fails." That's kind of cute. So if you're a woman who wants to put something like that above your wall, this one says, "Love you yesterday, love you still, always have, always will." That's kind of cute. Really just reminds you, the single people out there. I know some of you are single and you heard those words and you're like, it's been a little while, huh? That's one right here. So I picked these up. I didn't even price check these. They have a $25 price tag on the bottom. They're brand new and sealed. Can't see a reason why I can't get at least a third of that money back out of it. Corey is not here right now. Corey has been MIA most of the day. I think he was doing something with his family. Got some dusty items, guys. Dusty deals. But I don't know. I'm gonna try these at Amazon first. I'm just gonna put them to the side. The MP3 is for Amazon as well. And then, guys, I told you, I promised you 2 brands that I'd never worked with before. So what other brand is really up there with Patagonia? like the creme de la creme. Like we all know it's a brand to keep our eyes open for. Like we all know Patagonia, okay? What's another brand that's way up there on that list? That when you see that brand, you're like, I gotta buy that brand, okay? And people generally don't get rid of it. People don't think about getting rid of this brand. You know what brand it is? North Face. I have never once, ever found any North Face item ever in my years of sourcing. Same with Patagonia. It's never happened, okay? We have a North Face Tigger -7C sleeping bag. Yeah. Kate Spade, Columbia. There's these big brands to go after. This is a sleeping bag right here. Or some type of sleeping element, okay? And it has the pull tab. It's there. It's lovely. You know how much I paid for this? I think it was $1 or $2. And this is from James's house. James's parents sold this to me for like $1 or $2. Blown away to get this item. Fantastic pickup. Didn't even look it up. Probably not even going to need to. I know I'm going to make a profit on it. If I'm wrong, I'll eat the entire thing myself, okay? It's a great pickup to get. And yes, wow. I wish I had more info for you on that item, but I mean, it was a no-brainer. When you see something like that for $1, you just buy it. I got a handful of smalls. I just found a bite of a brownie that I didn't eat that some girl sold me at a yard sale. These kids are vicious about selling stuff right at the edge of the curb. You get out of the car, would you like to buy some lemonade? I'm sure, it's my third glass today, but I can't say no to you. What are you raising money for? Dying dogs. Give me 2 glasses. It's fine. And they're very aggressive about it. So I bought. She called this a brookie. I don't know if you've ever had a brookie before, but basically they have a brownie that they've cooked or they've baked a cookie across the top of. So you bite into it, it's fudge brownie on the bottom, cookie on top. And I took 2 bites into this, and I asked myself, I'm like, do I remember where I bought these from so I can go back and get more? Because they were that good. It was 2 of them for $1. If I knew how good it was, I probably would have bought a half a dozen of these things. So I bought a handful of stuff from one place. We're going to look at them real quick. I picked up a hacky sack. Some of these older hacky sacks can be worth really good money. This one feels like a bit of a modern one, but I paid roughly 15 cents to be able to get this. So I'm happy to have this. Throw this in the back of the car. Never know when you're going to get a wild game of hacky sack going when you're on the road, right? Right? Yeah. So I got that. And then I also picked up this looks like a modern Repro. It's safety matches, and there's matches here on the inside. I don't know exactly what's going on with this piece, but there is matches on the inside. I don't know if this is part of some gimmick or part of something. It might be part of a magic trick even. It has a strike plate on the side. A little more research is going to be required, but again, about 15 or 20 cents on that. Really happy about getting this. Now, I have a smaller one of these. This is a more basic, quickly adjustable tripod, but these are great when you need to attach your camera to something and then have it hanging off the front. But I picked this up, again, for about 15 or 20 cents. Very pleased to have that. And the reason why I was willing to buy all these small nonsense tap things that I really don't need in my life, but I did anyways, was I picked up this tie knot tire. Okay, and this is about a $9 piece on Amazon, but it has a full $4 return, which essentially made everything here free. No complaints. And I'll even, when it comes to Amazon, that had a rank of 4, I believe. I'll send in stuff like that anyways. Just fill out the order and just get it done. I wrapped this item. Any guesses? Any guesses, guys? I'll give you guys a moment. I'll pull up a different item. I got this item. Susan's probably going to want this one. Very cool. This is a collectible Disney commemorative cup, and you don't see these that often. Yeah, I keep guessing, guys. Not a cheese grater. This is a very, very cool cup. I've never seen one with so much detail in the top bit. This is probably from, what is it, 90s? Early 90s? Made in the USA. That's always nice. I could have sworn the artwork was dated somewhere. Maybe the lid's dated. If I had to take a guess, I would say around 94, 92, maybe somewhere in there. But great piece. Probably worth upwards of $15, maybe a little bit more. Time will tell, but it's most likely going to go to Susan because she loves Disney stuff, or she's going to be able to take it and get a little more money for it than I might. So any more guesses? No, it is not a cheese grater. We have a throwing knife. Okay. What the heck? am I doing with a throwing knife? Pam told me, she said, the way that I talk to people sometimes can be a bit aggressive. I told her I'll work on it. I'll work on it. This is Choate, spelled Choate, tool core. So this thing is wonderful, and I don't think it's metal. I think it's what is it, like polycarbonate or oh god, what's that material they make knives out of? It's not a stone, is it? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, guys. But I looked at a completed listing on this, and a completed one it's not steel. It's definitely not. It's a plastic. Ceramic. Thank you. Yes. This is a ceramic knife. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. That goes to Dan, the CNC tool man. Of all people, I had no doubt that you would be able to answer that one for me. Half a point to Louise, yes. But this thing is fantastic. Sells for roughly $30 for a more vanilla color. I expect to get $40 to $50 for this, may even go more aggressive than that. I am the only one who's going to have one of these for quite a long time. Very, very, very cool piece. And this, again, is why I do this. This is why I love this, because I get the opportunity to handle and see such interesting pieces. And if you guys want, I'll make a video of me chucking this thing. The blade could use a little bit of work. I may try and sort it out myself or leave it to somebody else. When you do go and you buy pointy things from people's houses, ask them, do you have a bag? Do you have some cardboard? Do you have some way that I can wrap this up? Some way that I can make sure I don't prick myself with it later. And then when you're done showcasing it or you're done listing it, do the same thing again. Wrap it up. You want to know why? I had all of my stuff in the back seat of my car, and I'm pulling all the items out to put them inside of a bin when I got back to the house, and I reached down and grab it, and you know what? My hand went right around the plastic bag. If that bag wasn't there, I probably would have sliced my fingers open. So when you get sharp stuff while outsourcing, get it wrapped up. Just be smart. It takes 2 seconds to get it done. What do we got next, guys? So I was inside of a Salvation Army the other day, and the internet went out, so I had to make this buy without any information whatsoever. But with my experience buying stuff without internet, it wasn't too bad. Me and Susan went sourcing week before last, 2 weeks ago. If you didn't see that show, go see it. Okay, and I picked this bad boy up, Indiana Jones mug. I paid $1.99, roughly 160 pounds. Yeah, £1 60 pence for this beautiful piece. I believe I'm going to get $20 to $25 for it without looking at any comps. I'd be a little surprised if I didn't. I was able to see some Google images of other cups that were similar-ish, that were selling around the $15 to $20 mark, so I don't think it would be unreasonable to ask a bit more for something that has, a fully textured handle, a textured body, print in 2 different areas, and it's an officially branded piece. 2004 Lucasfilms, and it's in fantastic shape. It looks like it's never been ran through a washing machine. It's never been used, and if it was very, very lightly used. So very, very cool piece on that. This is going to the Amazon or the eBay bin. You guys are kind of getting the point of how that works. And thank you, Brandy. I'd like to think a lot of the things are cool. Look at this. Holy cow, we got a little Duffy bear. I think that's what they call these, when you got the little Mickey Mouse face in here. And this is so cute. Look at the feet on this thing. I didn't do much research on this. I see it says Shelley May here on the side over here. And then it says Disney Parks Original Authentic on this tag. And it has the Japanese text on this side, which means it might be an international item. Yes. Okay. So Pam's saying Duffy means like hidden Mickey. So yeah. Fantastic piece. I paid $1 for this. I love the fact that I paid $1 for this. Yeah, it still has the tag up here. So this is a different accessory, and this is tacked in place with a piece of plastic, but it also has the elastic to be able to wrap it around, which is probably best that wasn't attached, or it would have been lost long ago. No clue what this is worth. I guarantee you I will not lose money on I think I paid $1 for this. Great pickup. I love finding plush. Oh my God, I still need to list mine. I forgot I had one. And just so you guys know how crazy some of the Duffy stuff can get, the first Duffy that I ever had, I listed and sold for $180. Okay? So everyone, like, I hear people tell me all the time, like, buying and selling plush. They're like, why are you buying stuffed animals? Why are you doing this? And I even had some guys give me that look today. I was at a swap meet, and they had a whole bunch of Amazon nonsense. I looked at it casually, nothing there that I wanted, and I went right to the next booth, and it was covered in toys, and they were looking at me weird because I was digging through the toys, digging through the stuffed animals, and I was buying that stuff, and I wasn't buying their stuff. But that's just kind of the naivety that they have, not understanding just how much money there is on this side working with stuffed animals. So we're going to look at one or two more items, guys, and I think we're going to save. We have a whole nother bin of stuff that we're going to save for next week. I'm going to show this big item, though, because I want this out of my darn office. Do you guys appreciate the fact that you have no clue what the next item I'm going to show you is each and every time? Because I know there's people that you'll watch and you're like, it's just the same thing over and over. They're showing you the same types of items, telling you to go buy the same stuff over and over and over. And I'd like to think that the 25 of you who are watching right now have no clue what the next item I'm going to pull out is going to be. It's like completely random. Nailed it, Tat Doctor. 100% bonus points for you. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and give you some money mental dollars right now. I'm giving out Andrew's premium currency. We're going to go ahead and give you some of that. So this is a Thule brand bike rack that you attach to the back of your car. Now, you guys might remember Thule because we dealt in a Thule item 3 weeks ago, the pieces that went on top of the car, and those were about $150. Now, this ranges anywhere between $75 and $150, and I plan to do a local option available buy on eBay. So I will list it with eBay with the option for shipping. It'll be very expensive to ship it, even though I can tear this down. It'll be about $50 to ship it. Or if somebody wants to pick it up locally, I'll give it to them for $100. And I'm also going to cross post that and advertise it on the Facebook Marketplace as well. On Facebook Marketplace, I'll be willing to take 100 or take 80 instead of 100 because of the fees and stuff like that. And no, this is specifically built for bikes. So what'll happen is it'll go around this direction, I believe, and then this end will be the anchor point to the vehicle, and then it'll seat back down here and touch on the bottom, and then your bikes will hang back here. And this thing will support 2 bikes at a time. If they're the smaller road bikes, you might be able to fit a chunkier mountain bike. I don't know. I can't testify to that. But I paid $8 for this. And I asked Daniel if he was going to buy it, and he didn't have an interest because he didn't want to deal in this oversized item. But I say, heck with it. If there's money there, I'm going to make that money. So this thing's going to need a wipe down. We are going to do a stream this week on the Facebook group. Again, it's going to be an exclusive stream. I know I've been putting it off forever. The repair and update and testing video. We're going to be watching Romeo and Juliet, the newer version on VHS at the same time because I have to test the VCR. And then we're going to throw a DVD on. If I have a DVD, whatever DVD I have, we're going to watch a second movie. And now I can't stream that type of content onto YouTube because of copyright violations, but I can stream that to Facebook. So if you want to be there for a movie day, we're going to watch 2 movies and test a whole ton of items, and I'll be doing live Q&A. You're welcome to join me, facebook.com/groups/Bolo Rama. We're going to look at the last of the items in this bin, and then we're going to call it quits for the items and wrap up with a little bit of story time. Okay, I got a Gudetama little coin bag. It's cute. This might get paired up with my lanyard and go out the door unless this is something that's Susan wants. She deals a lot in Sanrio. Look at the back. Isn't that adorable? Oh, and that's an egg yolk, just so you know. Nothing too crazy. And then this was an interesting buy. I couldn't find an accurate comp. I believe I'm going to get $40 for this bad boy. This is a sewing machine foot controller. And what drew me to this packaging, might you ask? YDK. Do you guys know what YDK is? And Susan said she wants. Okay, Susan, I'll sideline it for you. YDK is the people who make your zippers. If you have a zipper anywhere near you, look for the logo on it. It's going to say YDK. Almost guarantee you. They make like 95% of all the zippers in the world. So I looked this up on eBay. I couldn't find a comp. Looked it up on Amazon. It's out of stock on Amazon. I'll probably get a crisp $40 bill for anyone who needs this very, very specific foot controller for their sewing machine. Somebody who wants this brand, wants this quality, yada, yada, yada. I paid $3.44 for it. Can't complain. And that's the other thing, guys. I want to talk with you real quick about margins. Because some people, like, they're talking to me about all this work that they're doing and how they're not making any dang money. And I tell people I am so picky now about what I'm willing to buy because I don't want to invest time into one, things that aren't going to sell, and two, things that I feel aren't going to be worth the time to me. And I talked with Juan about this earlier today because he was showing me a calculator that he had picked up. And I said, yeah, I wouldn't even touch that. He's like, oh, I got it for $1. I'm like, still wouldn't touch it. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, the market's falling apart on them. They're like $15 a piece now. Like everyone knows the truth is out. Those Texas Instrument calculators, graphing calculators, they're essentially falling apart right now. The ones that used to be about $100 are down to $40-50. The ones that used to be about $40-50 are down to $15-20 now. And I told him, I'm like, you're going to pay $4.50 to ship it. Okay. You're going to pay $2 in fees, maybe $2 to buy it. Look at all that work you're going to do for $5.50. And then you got to take taxes, time and trouble off the top. And then what if it doesn't work? You can't even sell it for parts to recoup your money at that point. I simply won't touch it. Yeah, that's why you haven't seen me showing calculators too much anymore. After that last one, I realized there's no more money in it. The market is completely fallen apart on a lot of calculators. So things that used to be absolute snap buys, I'm not even touching anymore. Yes, Pam, it was a foot pedal. So those are going to be our items for the week. Guys, let's go in and talk about a little bit of, we got final thoughts and story time. I think we're going to hold back on story time. We'll just move to final thoughts right now. We'll save some of that for next week. If you guys want story time, let me know. I'll cover a story real quick. But if not, I think we're going to move straight on to final thoughts because it is 7:30 p.m. over here. And I know for some of you guys, it's even later than that, 3:30 in the a.m., which you guys are champs. And when you're streaming, I promise you, I'll come visit you late at night as well. So last week, guys, I asked you to do a little bit more, as I do every single week. I said, it's not a matter of what you do, it's a matter of what you do right now. What you do now is important, okay? That not just sit here and listen to the things I say and get motivated and get excited about what's going on, but actually take that advice and that help and carry it through with you through your week and then come back and see me next Sunday and tell me about the success you had. Tell me now in the comments if you did something a little bit different, a little bit more, a little bit extra that you'd like everyone else to know about, and maybe we can give you an extra pat on the back. But I see so many people, and this is something that you even hear within the church as well, where they talk about, while you're inside of this building, while you're here at this class, this seminar, this lesson, you are a certain person, but it's more about what you do after you leave here, the actions that you take beyond these doors, beyond this screen, okay? I see so many people who have that entrepreneurial mindset where they want the success and they want this and they want that and they simply don't execute on it. So today I wanted to talk about failing. I see people fail around me all the time. I see a lot of people get that conviction to fail, but there's something that a lot of people seem to miss. There's two ways to fail. There's two ways to lose in life, and it's important that you take the greater of the two paths. Today, I watched a person in a group absolutely lash out because they received a negative feedback and a nasty message because what did they do? They packed their item incorrectly. They, in turn, were a loser. And what did they want to do? They wanted to pass accountability onto the person who bought their item. This is one of many mistakes that this person made. Now, this person then went on to name call other people within the group who were challenging him on what he had done. Casey Perry, the rock star flipper himself, jumped into the discussion and had comments to make as well. And the seller, I don't even like using that name to describe the person, used the R word to describe the other person. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to mental limitations. And that got me hot. And I was typing up a response with a nice little FU attached to it so that nobody else would have to do that. And then he disabled comments and it immediately deleted my comment before I was able to post it. It was very unfortunate, but maybe it was for the best. I don't need to be dropping hard Fs within chats on other people. Okay? But this is what we call losing with no benefit. It's just losing to be a loser. Okay? Now, the other end of ways that you can lose is you can lose and you can take it as a learning experience. I love playing board games with other people. I play these big, robust, advanced board games. I even have one over here. It's called Vegas Showdown. It's by Avalon Hill. And if you've never played an Avalon Hill game, they have tons of boards and tons of pieces and multiple ways to compete, multiple ways to win. They're very much so advanced thinking games for adults. And I love losing. I love it when I lose. Why? Why, you ask? Well, when you lose, or excuse me, when you always win, you rarely have an opportunity to learn. If you're better than everyone else around you, and you're in that position where you know, I'm going to beat everyone here. I know I'm the best, and you know you're better than everyone else around you, you have no opportunity to learn, no opportunity to grow. But when I play a game and I lose, now I have information that I have to dissect and sort out and understand why I've lost and how I can get better at the game and how I can move forward and hopefully compete better in the future. And this is true of all games, okay? Me and some of the patrons have been playing this game online. We have a private game group. And I told Pam specifically, I said, I'm going to get better at this game. So rather than watching YouTube videos at night, what have I been doing? I've been logging the boards on the game. And I know to some of you might think, oh man, this is cheating. You just have all the boards written down. No, because I tried a strategy and there's far too many boards to log and there's only one board that shows up more than once. Now this is taking a loss as an opportunity. And again, I ask, what will you do to get ahead? What will you do to be better than your competition? Okay. Losing gives you that chance to be better. Making mistakes on eBay and making mistakes within e-commerce allows you to be better. The power of mentorship is you have a place to go when you do lose and when you do mess up. You have somebody there that's going to say, don't go down this path of self-defeat where the world is against you and everything is your fault and you're just a horrible person who can't do right. Get close to your mentor and say, what did I do wrong? How can I learn from this experience and how can I be a better seller? Remember, every loss is a learning opportunity to be a better person in any capacity. And remember, we all lose often, okay? I got 2 negative feedbacks this month on my eBay account. I spent 51 minutes on the phone today attempting to get them pulled off. How many feedbacks did I get pulled off? 0. I lost today, but I took it as a learning experience and I will call back tomorrow and I will try it again. Yesterday, I was on the phone with eBay and I received a $200+ refund. We'll talk about that story next week. But I took a situation that I was in a losing position and I turned it into a winning situation. So there's multiple ways to go about a loss. And just remember, don't let it weigh you down and don't allow yourself to be the victim in these situations. Ask yourself, how can I make this an advantageous situation for myself? Okay? You're waiting for your date to show up. You're going on a first date with a woman and she doesn't show up. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. I brought a book with me. That's fine. I got something to read. She doesn't show up. She doesn't show up. This opportunity is more than fine for me. Make a situation advantageous for you. Don't put yourself in positions where you lose and you lose the wrong way. Get help when you need it. Ask for help when you need it. Admit when you're wrong and be positive and move forward in the right direction. That's what I wanted to leave you with today. And I try and do that. Jay, send me those cheats, please. That's all the hard work. It was a lot of hard work because why? Because I'm an advantageous player and I wanted to be able to understand how the game worked. So what did I do? I wrote down the boards. I color-coded the boards. I named the boards with the first 4 letters of each one. And then I even created an index for each board. Okay? That's a lot of work. And what did I do? I traded away time that I would have spent on watching some YouTube. And I wanted to see if there was a way to crack the game. If there was a way to determine which board was going to be next. Why not? Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt at all. But I can tell you the one board that does repeat itself, I know every single word on that board. Malcors, Malcore, clampers, clamp, gamers, gamer, like all the long words, lampers, lamers, I know every single word on that board. And there's only one board that I found that repeats itself so far. If I see more boards that repeat, maybe I'll carry on with the project. But if not, I learned something new. And that's what I hope you guys all did today. I hope you all learned something new. Brandy Hunter saying Malcors in the comments. She knows what I'm talking about. She knows very well. Those of you guys who don't know, every single week I put together a new outro. And this week's I spared no expense. We continue the outros each and every week and they get a little bit more ridiculous. I'm doing my best to not purse my lips too hard. This week's outro is stupid. I was making it and I was sitting there thinking, it's like, how the heck am I getting paid to make this right now? But it's like I said, it's my one opportunity each week to express myself and do something a little bit different. So that's what's going to happen on this week's outro. I ask that you watch it, and if you don't, no harm, no foul. The full outro is going to be available in 4 more weeks when the entire thing's done. But we're coming to an end on this theme. Pam knows what the next theme is, and the next theme after that. They're going to be very, very interesting. So, guys, this has been the Sunday Reseller Roundup for, God, I have a lot of notes here, for Sunday, June 2nd, 2019. I want to give an extra special thank you to our patrons who help make this show possible. Please consider visiting Patreon after this show is over if you'd like to support, help keep us on air, help keep the energy levels high, help cover, I don't even have my coffee here, help cover the cost of coffee every single week that I am here, and keep gaining knowledge with me as I win and lose in combination at the same time. Thank you so much to all of you for helping out, and a big extra special thank you to all of our patrons, or non-patrons, excuse me, those who donated tonight. The list is very long, but right off the top of my head, I know we had Chris the Goose with a nice $60 bill, Fat Girl Sewing with a tenner. We had Dan the CNC Man. We also had Joe coming in with a twofer. But thank you to all of you, and if I missed your name, I apologize. And if I promised you some perks, feel free to message me after the show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for allowing me to have this as my job. I freaking love it. I'll see you guys midweek. We're going to be doing the Reseller Rewind on Wednesday. We're going to be doing sometime during the week, the testing probably Tuesday, and I'll see you on Friday as well. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the outro. It's so stupid. And I'll see you very soon. And remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will. Man, oh man, was that a heck of a show that we just had. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're like, Jay, you were just here a second ago. You said you were going to roll the outro and we're still talking. Why are we still talking if you said you were going to do the outro? Because this is the outro and you didn't even realize it. Yeah, I know things don't always seem as they appear, but I thought I would make a little gaff of it, have a little bit of fun. So just like with the last one, 10 revisions. This is number 6 of 10 that you're going to be seeing over the next 10 weeks. We've been doing this forever now. So I guess we'll start out as always and say thank you to our base level patrons. Thank you to all of you for supporting the show for so long. Some of you guys have been around forever. I truly appreciate that. And then I also want to give a thank you to our premium level patrons. Those of you who have been contributing even more to help keep us on air. Thank you to all of you as well. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Obviously, there's no green screen, but we're going to have a whole lot of fun with this. And lastly, we have our premium tier patrons, which I don't think we have any as of now. Well, if we do, place some right there, but I don't think we do. So thank you so much for watching. And just remember, your guys' continued support is what keeps me on air and keeps me working hard and keeps me digging up the truth. So that way we can all grow smarter and financially proficient together. That's about it. Have a great day.
Twenty-four, 23, 22, 21.